Expansion.
All right. Expansion podcast, ladies and gentlemen. After a quick break, we're back. We're very happy to be back. We've had a small break over Christmas and New Year's. The brother Paulie moved out sometime in December as well, so that took up a lot of time, as it always does. But very happy to be back. It is 2021. It's a new year. It's a new decade, actually. A lot of us missed all of that, given the state of the world and everything that's going on. But it's a new decade. It's a new time, it's a new era, but unfortunately, speaking for Australia and in some way for the rest of the world, we're still very much affected by this so-called COVID pandemic. Australia's still locked down, still with border closures, all sorts of restrictions. And now the monkeys in the New South Wales government decided that for some reason now, despite the fact that we're nowhere near the peak in this so-called pandemic, that we all need to wear masks in indoor public places. It's a joke. I'm not doing it for my own reasons. But anyway, this is where we are. And having said all of that, we're very happy to be back. It's something that we love doing. And it's great to be back with my brother, Javier. Welcome to the show, Javier Cerbelli.
Thank you.
How you
Thank
doing?
you, Rafa.
Yeah, of course. He gets a big round of applause already, man. How you feeling?
Really good.
Awesome.
Really good to be here and,
Yeah.
make me feel like coming home.
Yeah, man, of course, brother. Well, you are home, man. Actually, I'll just start by saying that Harvey, not only is he a very good friend and we've been working together for many years, but he's actually one of the ones that helped us build this studio.
Oh, yeah, yes. I
Yes,
remember.
because-
there wasn't like this.
It didn't look like this, did it? So
not
Harvey, when we moved to Dural many months ago, Harvey was one of the ones that gave me a hand to make this place look what it is like what it is today. There's a window behind the TV here that we had to cover. There was a sink in this place that we had
Yes,
to
that's right.
pull out, and then we had to seal the pipe at the
pipes at
back,
the back,
which
yeah.
which was very interesting because we couldn't find the water outlet for the whole home, so we had to do it with the water running, which was a lot of fun.
Like Harway.
Yeah, water fucking spraying everywhere and shit. But thank you for that,
You
man.
wasn't very close to the pipe.
No. And thank you for that, my brother, and thank you for your friendship and for all the things we've done together over the years, which has been amazing.
Well, my pleasure, Rafa.
Yeah.
Honest, it's a big pleasure
Yeah.
being next to you.
Thank you, man.
And I'm going to share something that you don't know,
Okay, tell me.
okay?
Sure.
Last
Confession.
year, the year before, actually.
Sure.
I just remember that we just
19.
get into
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, that's right.
But in 2019, we fly together. We've been together in Colombia. So that for me was a big and huge experience.
Yeah,
okay?
man, of course.
But one of the things that I said to my wife, even when I was there,
Yeah,
and is I love to be next to Rafa because
my man.
I learn every moment, every day, something new.
Wow.
I like the way he is. Now, you didn't know about this, but
No.
I just share with you.
Sure.
And I say, I feel like, there is so much that I can learn from this guy.
Oh, wow.
And I love it. I love it.
Thank you, man.
So, yeah, but from my heart.
Means a lot, man, de corazón. Gracias, hermano.
Pleasure.
Great to hear, man. That's it. Show's done. Thank you for coming. Oh, man, that's very nice to hear,
Yeah.
man. And,
No, but
and-
it's from my heart. It's,
Thank
it's
you,
true.
man. Thank you, my brother. God bless you. Thank you so much. I'm actually quite flattered, man. Thank you. We've got so much to talk about, and actually, you've been on my list of guests for quite a while. And,
Yeah, we couldn't,
make
get
it happen.
No,
Yeah.
we couldn't get it to the money
Yeah.
deal. So like the money wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
at
the
that
money wasn't good
time,
enough.
and I
Yeah,
said we have to
yeah,
make
but
it.
we saved a bit.
Disclaimer, there is no money involved. Everyone does it out of love.
That's right.
Disclaimer.
No, the guests pay me. No, no. But the cool thing, I mean, amongst the people that I know, and I do know a lot of people, but you've done so much, and this is why I thought this would be an awesome story to tell, because I cannot count in my head the amount of things and careers and career generations you've had, and because you're a company owner, so refrigerated trucks is your thing.
25 years.
25 years. Volunteer firefighter, which is a huge thing, and I want to talk a lot about that.
Since I was 16 years old.
Okay. I want to talk a lot about that. And there's one thing that I've always wanted to do because to me, firefighters, they fall under one of those categories where, and not only for myself, but I think for, whose phone's going off?
Guess who?
Paulie?
Well, there you go.
I just checked
Good help is hard to
the
find.
live audience and
Good on you, Paulie. You hear the Americans. Oh, thank you for your service. But I want to thank you for your service, man, because if the Yanks are out there,
pleasure.
no, for real, because firemen they're one of those categories, one of those services or one of those roles in society that no one can dispute. Their value, their true value. Obviously police are so important, but then they fall under a category which is very controversial because
they have a salary, so we don't.
I know that because you're a volunteer firefighter, which makes, in my opinion, makes it even more special. But probably what we can do is start with that, because to me that's probably a really good picture, a really good example of who you are as a person, as a man, because it tells a lot about you, man. Because to do it as a volunteer, it's huge. There's no salary involved. You do it essentially for the love and because you want to help people, right?
Definitely, yes. Well, I started as a firefighter when I was 16 years old.
In Argentina?
I was back to my country in Argentina.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I was looking at a friend of mine, my neighbor. Every time I was living around the corner, literally around the corner of the fire brigade.
Yeah.
So every time I hear this, loud siren went off, and I see my friend, running and running. I say, "Why are you running for? What's going on?" I was only 16 years old. My mind was in somewhere else.
That's right.
Girls. Rafa, please.
Yeah, your
my
wife is here. Yeah, but you were 16. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well. But anyway, and so I'm asking one day, and I say, "What are you doing? What are you running for?" You say, "I'm a firefighter."
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." And the funny thing is, I have the fire brigade around the corner of my house, but I never pay attention on it.
Yeah.
And I say, "Oh, what do you need to do to be a firefighter?" "Well, you need to enroll, and if you really like it, So I'm enrolled myself. I didn't know that when I was 16, I'm already be able to join. You can in South America, even in here, but not everywhere. When you're even about 10 years old, you are able to get into the fire brigade as a cadet. Okay.
10 years old.
10
wow.
years old.
That's awesome.
But that's not every brigade had that.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the thing is, so I enroll myself, and when they give me the letter, that's probably was a month after that I'm, apply for it. They give me the letter. Half an hour after that, the siren went off.
Oh, wow.
So I was a firefighter at that time.
Shit.
I'm talking about 1990s. Actually,
Before?
No, before that. Sorry, 80s.
No te hagas el pendejo.
Sorry, 2003.
What are you, 25 again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So can we cut that part?
Go on.
But So the thing is, I went to my first call, when I was 16 years old, with half an hour that I have on my letter, of being accepted. So there was
training.
No training at all. No training at all. And
Shit.
And I say, okay, everything was fun for me.
Yeah.
Until somebody that day that was an accident between a car and a motorcycle.
Wow.
I thought firefighting is just helping people.
Yeah.
Whatever you have to do to help.
Yeah.
So I make a few mistakes trying to be good. And this is what I'm trying to say. Not because you want to do something good, you're always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I learned from my bad experience.
Sure.
The good thing about that, there was this officer that actually was like my father after. Senor Juan Gieco, that was, it was actually our father, my wife and myself, because he was the godfather of our marriage after that.
Oh, wow.
But but
Okay.
he was one of those guys, countrymen,
Sure.
old men.
Sure.
They always wise and only speak when they have to speak.
Yeah.
But very funny guy.
Sure.
So the thing is,
Personaje.
is for me, hizo una marca en mi vida. O sea, it was like a huge
influence.
It wasn't just an influence. It was more than that. I literally was like my father.
Wow.
You know, talking about my father, and why I say this is because my father is Italian. I'm from Italian background. My mother is from Argentina, from El Chaco, north part of Argentina. And you know how Italian are. It's very tough, you know.
Yeah.
And it's back to the 70s, 80s, you know.
I thought you said 90s.
No, I'm talking about my father. No, I'm not talking about myself. They're very tough.
Sure.
They're very, very tough.
Sure.
You know,
Firm,
and it's
old school.
hacer lo que yo te digo, say do what I say so. And say why? Because I say so. Simple as that.
Sure.
There was no answer. There was no explanations.
Yeah.
So this guy take the time to explain to you.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. He was like my father. I learned a lot of him, you know, and you know,
Role model.
Yeah,
sure. Mentor. Sure.
Mental more than role model.
Mental,
More than role
yeah,
model. Exactly.
Yeah.
And they teach us so many good things, like be careful with this, not doing that. It's not just being a firefighter.
Of course.
It was a family.
Sure.
You know, with 16 years old, they tried to guide you, you know, for the future life.
What was that first accident like, though? What do you remember seeing?
See, it was very nasty.
Sure.
You know, the guy was, we have to rescue the guy from inside the car. He was dead.
Oh,
And
wow.
and what I remember was, I don't know, but what I remember, there was, this guy was when they hit the bike. The bike went to one side, the car went to the left side and hit one of the poles, but the electric poles, but the concrete ones.
Oh.
Okay, so that's why the guy died in there. So we have to take him out from the car. That was my first call. Half an hour. I'm talking half an hour, being a civilian to be a firefighter, and with no experience, with no training, with nothing.
Yeah.
Just the matter of helping people.
Sure.
The adrenaline is unbelievable.
Can imagine.
Okay. And when we tried to take him out, never forget about that. When we tried to take him out, because they have the steering wheel, you know, inside the stomach. So the guy was dead in there. So we tried to take him out. And when we tried to take him, we knew there was dead. When we tried to take him out, the guy was... Yeah, you know, I was nearly died.
So he was alive?
No.
He's just releasing the air that's inside, trapped inside.
Exactly. So that's why, imagine that you know somebody's dead, and then one of the sudden, when you try to take him out, just the body, and they do that reaction, imagine how you're going to feel.
Of course.
But
a lot of blood?
No, it wasn't much blood, because it was just hitting on the stomach, you know, and they hit the chest.
Yeah.
So in that, I'm talking about the 90s.
Yeah. Right.
Now, in the 80s, it was no airbags on it.
Of course, yeah.
So that's what you have to think about. Now people say, but the airbag. No, there wasn't an airbag.
And the guy on the bike?
Well, the guy on the bike have a lot of bruises, bones, broken bones and everything.
Sure.
But what I try also to do is, because somebody in the crowd say, can you help me? We're going to put the bike in the house and there until they're... So I help him out to put the bike in the house. And because, once again, I'll try to help.
Trying to help, yeah.
So the thing is, this officer told me after that and say, I hear the siren.
Yeah.
Is that Polly? Is that Polly doing sound effects?
Paulie's doing sound effects.
Ever since Rafa moved in, we've been hearing more sound.
Yeah, there goes the neighborhood.
No, I thought it was you, Polly, not doing your job.
Yeah. No sound effects.
And so the thing is, this officer, Juan,
sure,
he told me and say, this is the first and the last time that I'm going to say something to you. Because also, I was like in a parade. For me, as I say, it was new. Sure. And in the fire car, or the fire engine, I was waving everybody. You know, I knew everybody. It was my neighborhood.
Of course.
So,
like a queen on a float.
Exactly.
Carnaval.
So, and he say, can you sit in there? This is not a parade. Okay? Yeah. So, and I say, oh, sorry. You know, and the guy told me after that, the officer told me after and say, look, when we go on to a fire call or accident or whatever, you wait until person in charge say to you, you're allowed to go down of the vehicle, or what you have to do.
Sure.
And common sense.
16 years old.
But I
man.
was 16 years old with only half an hour that I can receive a letter with no experience and no training at all.
So what happened? So you helped out the guy with the bike, and how did you fuck up with that?
Well, the thing is, I don't supposed to touch anything from the scene.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was about to say,
Exactly.
is it like from an evidence kind of
Exactly.
Yeah, okay,
So
sure.
that's why.
You ruined the crime scene.
Well, there you go.
Contamination.
And now, a lot of things change after many kids died. Kids, when I'm talking kids, was kids, because 16 years old in the south of Argentina was a big, massive fire. And this is what happened, and this is one of our first enemy when we go into the bushfire, is the wind.
Sure.
So the wind changed, and all this, I think it was about 10 kids die. When the wind changed, it was about 16, 17 years old. Volunteers, all.
Wiped them out.
All died, all dead, all of them. So then, from that group of kids, they give their life, it was like a human sacrifice, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
Everything changed in the whole country, because they say, well, from now on, they're not able to go out until they are 18 with training.
Good idea, no?
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So that's why, and in here, we just have a few people get into the brigade, because after the last fire season, many people wants to be firefighters.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This last summer in Australia.
Exactly, 1920.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we only in our brigade, I'm from Casula Brigade, only in our brigade, we have about 70 people wants to get into the brigade.
Sure.
So because they see, the pictures, or they see the videos or the news, and they think, oh, look, I want to do that. But
yeah,
there is a training involved.
Of course.
There is a commitment involved.
There's risks.
There is a lot of risk. Okay, it is not just put water in a fire.
Yeah, run in and help. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I did in the beginning, because
Sure.
I didn't have the training.
Yeah.
I didn't have the experience, and I could cause a lot more troubles than the helping. Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, whoever think like, oh, I want to be a firefighter just because I want to help, is not just that. I hear that some of them, there was about 10 newbies now in the brigade that we tried to training.
Yeah.
And a few of them, they already resigned. They say, nah, this is not what I was thinking about.
Sure.
This is more very like an army things. And I say, why you think it's an army thing? Well, because they tell you what to do. Well, what do you expect? This is an organization.
Sure.
And as I just say organization, they need to be organized.
Of course, yeah.
It's not just go there and do it, because it's your life in risk. It's my life in risk. When I come in here to Australia, we arrived to Australia, and we're going to step forward now. So the thing is, when I come to Australia, was 28th of December, 1990. My father, my mum, my brother, my sister, one luggage each. Okay.
Yeah.
So my father having a contract with Alan Jones, the car racer, the Formula One car racer, the world champion. So he's supposed to go to work with him. But in 1990 was the big recession in Australia.
Sure.
And then the first time that he went to, go to work, they tell him, we have no more job for you.
Ouch.
So from the job that he's supposed to do was a supervisor in one of his workshops. We end up picking tomatoes in the farm.
Sure.
And with nothing. We have the visa to come in and work and live in here. Was a permanent visa.
Yeah.
But we wasn't resident, like a permanent resident visa, but we wasn't, what's it called? Australian citizens. We have to wait for that.
Yeah. Permanent resident. That's the title. Yeah.
So, but we didn't speak English. I didn't speak English at all. Now that I speak now, but what are you laughing for, Polly? So,
so let me get this straight. Sorry. So you came to this country thinking that you'd have a job, your dad.
Yeah.
But something else happened, didn't it?
Oh, many things happened. I was in.
There's lots to come. Trust me. I know. I've
We've
got an idea of this guy's story. He's done it all, but please don't be interrupted by Paulie's unprofessional.
By the way,
Good on you, Paulie.
Congratulations, Paulie, so everything you do now. Like, wow, it's
Thank
amazing.
you. Yeah,
Thank you very much,
giving-
Xavier.
You know?
Man, the guy's he's come a long way, huh?
Yeah, definitely,
man.
definitely.
Yeah,
There you go.
big round of applause. He's even got his own camera, but I don't think he's got it up anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you still
Yeah.
got your little camera there, Paulie?
Because we had some technical difficulties,
Ah,
I'm using
okay.
someone else's.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sure,
there you go.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
No,
doing my
but
wish
on the
list.
real, and people know that I'm quite public about this. Without Paulie, none of this could be possible, brother. I love you, man, and everything you do for me and for us and for a lot of people.
Thank you, thank you.
You've come a long way, my brother.
Thank you, thank you.
It's okay, Paul.
Nah, but I like the reason why I did that is because he was talking about picking the tomatoes way too early.
Oh, is it? Way too early?
Yeah, no, you were.
I don't know why.
You've skipped the priest.
No, there wasn't on that time. No. I'm going like in chronological
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we're getting there, bro.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paulie.
Thank you so much. You can go for a coffee.
You took the words out of my mouth. Ouch.
You want to water in the plants, that's all. Yeah. So the thing is, when we arrived to Australia, it was really bad for me. I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
For those who, not really good at mathematics, I'm 49 years old now. Okay.
Doing very well, my friend.
Thank you
Looking
so much.
very good, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I was 18 years old when I arrived to Australia.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come. Honestly, I didn't want to come because teenager, South America, party.
Of course.
And
Your friends and
I have a lot of friends. A lot. That was friend collector, not the bond collector. I was the friend collector because I have a lot of friends.
sure.
I think
And the fire brigade and everything, right?
Fire brigade was my family, honestly, because I was living in the fire brigade. I was literally living in the fire brigade. So my life when I was 16 years old was study. I gone to school every morning until I think it was about 4 o'clock. I finished around. I finished at midday. Because in South America, it's not like here. You have morning shift and the afternoon.
School and afternoon school, and you go to one or the other.
Exactly.
Sure.
So you're not
In
going
Uruguay
to...
is the same. Yeah.
Exactly. So the thing is, what happened was I studied the whole morning. And because I really enjoy what I do. I was doing carpentry in a school and all, industrial school. So it's the thing, somebody was looking for someone to work in a factory, and the teachers, pointed me
They recommended you.
they recommend me. So the good thing was I started working in there. So after school, I started working until 5 o'clock. So after 5 o'clock, I went to the fire brigade.
Wow.
So from 5 until the following day morning, then I go back to school. That was my everyday. Apart of that, I go and visiting, my girlfriend on that time as well. Then now is my wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you guys have been together that long?
Yes. 16 when I was 16 years old.
Wow.
So
Silvia. By the way, the beautiful Silvia, Javi's wife, she's in the studio. I think it's the third time we've had a guest come with a partner. So she's just chilling, watching. Big shout out to Silvia. Zumba Mummies, right? Yeah, Silvia. She's also known to tag along to some of our events that we do that Javi works and manages. Big shout out to Silvia. And I didn't know you guys have been together for so long.
Yes.
That's like very rare nowadays.
yes. And honest, it's not easy because
Of course.
it's like any partnership.
For her in particular.
Especially, yes. Yes. Thank you, Rafa.
No problem.
As I say, Rafa is my best friend.
I can get away with it. But so hold on. But when you come to Australia,
No, we was together.
but you came first.
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And that was probably one of the hardest part
Yeah.
because, back to the 80s,
Yeah.
there was no internet.
Of course.
There was no WhatsApp.
No.
There was no Facebook.
Letters and
Letters.
expensive phone calls.
Exactly. But you know what we
Hello,
did?
hello. Hola.
Waiting
hola,
1
hola.
month to her to receive the letter,
Yeah.
and another month
Yeah.
to
yeah,
receive,
yeah, yeah.
you know, my
Yeah,
answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was working in, okay, that's another thing. It was my first job in here was putting, first job in Australia, part of the, after picking tomatoes,
Yeah.
was putting roller doors.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
I was putting, you know, roller doors,
Yeah.
garage and factories and all that.
Mm.
And the thing is, I have a big fight with this guy. Okay,
Yeah.
He was a South American guy.
Yeah.
Very tough, very tough. And I was nearly hit him with a hammer because that he annoyed. You know how hard it is for me to be annoyed.
Yeah,
But in
definitely,
that time,
Yeah.
I wasn't that bad.
Sure.
It was just a few words I can get very.
Uh-huh.
The Uruguayan people call me calderita de lata. So
Opa,
imagine
okay.
how was it?
Sure. Yeah. Calentón. Get angry easy.
So,
What does that mean?
was
He just he gets angry. He boils. It's essentially it's like a
the how do you call the kettle?
kettle. Yeah, a kettle made of tin. It boils very quickly,
That's
very
right.
easily. Yeah. Some sayings don't translate very well.
Yeah, well, it's a sign in South America, or the Uruguayan actually. You know,
yeah.
it's,
You get angry quickly, basically.
very quick.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so yeah, and before I say that, this is the part that probably Paulie wants to like to know, but that he didn't know.
Yeah.
When I was 16 years old, actually, before I come to Australia, I was a Taekwondo national champion in my country,
In Argentina.
in Argentina.
Yeah.
So
That's an awesome achievement, bro.
yeah,
because it's a big,
I love
big
that.
country, man.
Yeah. So I was fighting in the River Plate, in la cancha de River Plate,
Yeah.
River Plate Stadium, and the Boca Juniors Stadium.
Sure.
I was a metropolitan champion and national champion.
Sure.
And I love that.
course.
Obviously, I wasn't look like this, but
Yeah.
I mean that day I was training 7 days a week, that morning and afternoon. You know, especially
Yeah.
when you was in training and all that to competitions.
Of course.
But yeah, I really enjoy that.
Taekwondo's a lot of kicking, right?
Yes.
Mainly kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different of Kung Fu. Kung Fu is more with the hands,
yeah,
you know, more physical contact. You know, this
That's
is
right.
more, kicks. More than, you can use your hands,
Yeah.
but mainly is your legs. So, so the thing is, that's part of the Poly Pro that doesn't know about that. So be
Yeah.
careful, Poly, you know, so like.
You kick the fuck out of it.
So then when I start my new life in here in Australia was really hard, and say receiving a letter from my girlfriend at that time was probably about a month, 2 months. So what we do is we get the first WhatsApp.
Yeah, sure.
We record in cassettes.
Yep, sure.
Okay, that was the first WhatsApp in the 80s.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
So it was much better because
Yeah.
a letter you just put we use in all the corners and everything, just writing.
Yeah.
You know, but with the cassette, it's probably weight a little bit more, but it's costing much less, and you can
hear
talk
the
a lot.
voice and yeah.
So we send in cassettes, and cassette gone, cassette come back, cassette gone, cassette come back. So that was until, and then after this guy that I would put on roller door, I think I was the person that last much longer in there, a month.
He was a prick, huh?
Was,
Uruguayo.
no, Boliviano.
Really?
Bolivian, yeah.
Okay.
So, and the thing is, I say, look, I better left because we're gonna end in really badly here. And that's why now, please just Taekwondo, calderita de lata,
Yeah.
and getting angry very easily.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Sure.
But you have to control yourself
Of course.
a lot.
Of course. Always.
So the thing is, I started working in a shed pallet
Okay.
factory in Lidcombe.
Uh-huh.
So that was my
I'm
second
gonna start
and
writing
last.
these down, man. Keep going.
So that was my second and last job in here when I was the first time that I was here in Australia.
First time.
First job, sorry,
Sure.
second job
Yeah.
and the last job in here in Australia until
I'm writing these down. Bombero, Taekwondo, picking tomatoes.
you have enough. You have enough. Is
Yeah.
memory-
I
memory in
just
the phone?
freed up. I just freed up a bit of space. Chip pallets.
So yeah, that's until we're talking about 92.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that was 1992.
Yeah.
I was in so much depression. I was depressed. Like that I want to die. The reason why I went to work, because when we come, as I say to you, we come here with my family.
Yeah, the old man didn't get the job.
Didn't get the job, and we ended 45 degrees in Cow Pasture Road in Hoxton Park. We picking tomatoes with Italian family. They're helping us. We didn't have a place to live, and they borrowing us the house of the mother.
They lent you the house.
They lent us the house because there was belonged to the mother, and the mother was an elderly lady, and they was in the nursing homes, and nobody living there. So they give us a lot of help. And a church in Ashgrove, this man in here another key of in my life. So it was El Padre Lauro Rufo. On that time, it wasn't very like church people, but
I'm very religious.
No, at all. Like in our country, we say, "Oh, I'm Catholic," but
but
the thing
no
is,
one practices.
nobody. So you go to funerals,
That's right.
and Christies and weddings. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, christening, weddings, and funerals.
That's it.
It's true.
That's because
very true.
Exactly.
Yeah, very true.
So, and this guy, coming and help us with from nowhere, and he didn't know us. This is the second day that we was in Australia. So remember, we arrived 28th of December of 1990. We spent New Year's Eve in here. I was expecting fireworks like cohetes, and all that, and they come out and
dead quiet, nothing
at all.
Can't compare our countries,
but nothing at all. Like say, what's going on? Where is everybody? I have a big episode that night. I start feeling really bad. I say to my mom, Mom, I don't feel well. I say, what happened? I feel like I want to vomiting. And say, well, go to the toilet. And when I went to the toilet and started vomiting, I couldn't stop vomiting, and I started crying. And I couldn't stop crying. And the funny thing is, this has never happened to me before. I start feeling my hands started getting like, all like that. It's like twisting my mouth. It started going to the side. And I started like, when you see the movies, like, and I was conscious.
What the hell was that?
So I'll say I remember we was in a friend's house. And say, call the ambulance. No, don't call the ambulance. And I didn't say, why you're not allowed to call the ambulance? I'm not illegal. I'm not like, but no, don't call the ambulance. Okay. So the good thing about being in the fire brigade was the training after that. And I tell my father what to do. So they took me out and they helped me to release all the muscles and all, all this
tension. What the hell?
Yeah. And it was because
it's like a panic attack.
It was, put it that way. If you want to put it in the nice way, yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was holding a lot before we came to Australia with my friends, my girlfriend in that time.
So it was a mixture of emotion,
exactly.
Big shock, yeah.
So it was really bad. It was really, really, really bad. Anyway, so these people doesn't want us to be in the house. So the following day, because it was a little too much to say.
So they kick you out?
They kick us out, exactly, to a hotel. In a Parramatta Road, I remember when I passed in there, I see that hotel.
You told me, I think we drove past it one day. And
every time I pass from there, I remember that day.
Yeah.
So now that I see, as a father, I see my father and say, fuck, tenía unos huevos de toro.
Yeah.
Because, like big balls, like,
what he went through to get you guys here and everything.
He passed, we only have, I think, if I remember right, he only have $200 and something American dollars with him.
Yeah.
With a wife and 3 kids. A country or a place that he doesn't know.
On the other side of the world, language he doesn't speak.
And the only people that we know
Yeah.
They say, "Oh no, you have to go to a
They kicked
hotel."
you out. Yeah.
So it was really tough. And I believe every immigrant have a story.
Of course.
You know, every
course.
immigrant have a story.
Of course.
People, when somebody asks me in my country or when I've gone different places all around the world, they say, "Oh, yeah, you're lucky, you know, because, you know," and I say, "You have no idea what you're talking about."
Yeah.
You know, first of all, my parents just have the 50 years anniversary.
Yeah.
And I just say 2 words or a few words in there,
Yeah.
and I say, "I'm sorry." The first thing that I say to my dad and my mom, and say, especially to my dad, I say, "I'm sorry." Because when first time you decide to be here in this country, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And I was you was my first enemy. And I blame you because of we coming here and many things. And I'm so sorry because I was too young and I couldn't understand. I couldn't see what you were seeing and have the courage, you know, to make that decision.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy because we wasn't rich, we wasn't poor. My father was
Working class.
Exactly. He was a motor mechanic.
Yeah.
So he have his own workshop, you know, house. My father have a 2-3 house in South America, work class. So what he do was working the whole life.
Yeah.
Start at 7 o'clock in the morning, got some time sleep. I see my father 12 o'clock in the night, every day. So the thing is, now I say sorry to him because I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, you know, if we were all to apologize to our parents for our actions as teenagers or as young men and women, I mean, we'll be apologizing for for a very long time.
Well, yes, true.
And I think also, you know, I think there's a saying, our parents are the bones on which the children sharpen their teeth on, you know. It's our first true emotional struggle within the family, with your brothers and sisters and with your parents. That's where this whole emotional struggle, the first one that you're going to have, really, because everything else outside of them, I don't think that there's that emotional connection with others as you do with your parents and with your brothers and your sisters. So that kind of, esa pulseada, that wrestle begins.
And there is no school for parents.
No, of course not. And there's no school for teenagers either, unfortunately. No one's born with a manual or with a script,
Exactly.
so it just unfolds the way it does. And of course, you know, the benefit of hindsight, yes, this was wrong, this was right, that's what was going on at the time and all these things. But we've gotten to the part where you've left the job in the Chep pallets.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
And ended on bad terms. Yeah.
Yes.
But what I know, I've heard of being a priest. I've heard of owning a radio station. I've heard of the newspaper as well. I've heard
magazine.
of
Newspaper
newspaper and magazine. The churro making.
Look Polly's face.
the churro making, churros with the coffees and everything. But you've done other bits of food as well, right? Food truck kind of.
We used to have like a South American restaurant in Liverpool.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
South American restaurant in Liverpool.
All parrilla, like barbecue and all that. So that was all South American food.
Cool. The robots. Because because
all
I mean, Harvey's the owner of one of the very few Transformer robot suits in Australia, 2 of them, Optimus Prime and Bumblebee.
But before that,
I'm getting there. Mega Oz, which was, you know, the first time I've ever seen an LED robot suit.
It was the first LED robot in Australia.
There you go. And that's kind of where our relationship kicked off a little bit as well, because I remember meeting you guys at Bondi Latin American Festival, which I ran, and you guys came in to do churros, which is the churros food truck / market, the stall thing.
There was a stall in that time.
It was a stall, yeah.
That's how we started.
Yeah, and that's when we met. And that's for a long time. For a long time, I remember I had you saved in my phone, as you do, Javier Chechurros. And even nowadays, when I see you, I say Chechurro.
And now how are you going to put it? Because it's a lace topper.
Impossible. No, there's Javi. That's it. There's no need for anything else. El Javi.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I guess my question is, and I'm sure there's more,
Plenty, yeah.
because that's just what I know from afar. But my question is, why do you think you're like that? As in so entrepreneurial, as in, yep, I can do that. Yep, I can do that. Let's do more. Let's do. I mean, you can't sit still.
You know, it's a good question.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm probably can say I'm not a kind of person that I get bored very easy.
Sure.
Very easily.
Sure.
So I need to do something. I have to do something all the time. I have to be active all the time.
La cabecita no para.
No. I'm always having ideas. Always. And now probably they're starting getting a little bit older, so put the reps a little bit down.
Sure.
But just to have an idea, the churros, like you just mentioned, I tell you how to start. So we was in a really bad financial situation. And with the woman of my life, we was struggling alone. I have about 5 credit cards in that time, because we come from be like, wow, up here in many situation, to come down here like, we don't know if we're going to eat today. I'm talking about Australia. I'm not talking about South America. So the thing is...
And that's to do with the collapse of the radio, right?
Yes, I think it was after, exactly. Yeah, that's another,
Sure.
Big hiccups in my life.
Sure.
But the thing is, I think it was about $5,000 or $6,000 in the credit card. Okay. And I was thinking and say, what are we going to do now? So I didn't have a job in that time. And then say, I wake up one day and I say to my wife, I gone to Argentina. And she looked at me and say, you crazy? And I say, why? She said, what are you going to go for? And I say, I'm going to buy a churro machine.
As you do. I would have thought exactly the same thing.
And I say,
when all else fails, buy a churro machine.
So
from Argentina.
The churronator. So the thing is, and say, are you crazy? And I say, look, I'm going to buy a churro machine and we're going to start doing a churros. But remember, of course, you remember the Uruguayan Uruguayos Unidos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uruguayan Festival.
Uruguayan Festival. They're doing a Fair Fish Showground for many years.
Yeah.
So I say to them, I say to my wife, and I say, if they give us the right to do the churros in the Uruguayan Festival, I'll go to South America and buy the churros.
Sure.
So they did. So
Done.
they give me, and I say, so I went with empty luggage. Okay. One empty luggage to South America, because it was 1 week.
Yeah.
So I'm already do all the research in here, blah, 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 where to go, blah, blah,
What year is that, by the way?
Oh,
roughly.
Good question.
Roughly.
Was after the Olympics, so must be 2005, probably, something like that. Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
So I think Lucas didn't born yet.
No, he born.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So sorry,
It's okay. The assistant.
Yeah.
Guys, just we're not allowed to phone a friend unless it's authorized.
Sorry,
you gotta go through Paulie. Sorry,
brother.
Joking,
Sorry, boss.
joking.
fucking Nazi. Eh?
I'll see you outside. Don't worry.
I'll kick the fuck out. I'll take one though. Kick you.
Yeah. So the thing is, they give the right to do it. So I went to South America. One of my uncles, helped me to go and buy it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, and now that I remember, I say, wow.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking crazy.
Just the machine is, the weight was 32 kilos. In that time, they went Aerolíneas Argentinas allow you to get a luggage of 32 kilos.
Wow. It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
So, but they didn't end in there because they say, okay, we need the churros machine, but we also want to do the dulce de leche, like a caramel,
That's
filler
right.
with caramel
Yeah.
and with chocolate. So I bought the filler and I bought the chocolate melter and everything to start it. But I make a big mistake. So when I'm back in here, we went to Uruguayan Club, or the Uruguayan Festival, and we bought a electric deep fryer, probably about this big, I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. I can imagine.
I do a course to do the churros in South America. It's not just me. People think, oh, it's just flour and water. Because somebody told me that. And say, no, I've been to somebody to teach me how to do it properly.
Yeah.
So the thing is, in the Uruguayan festival, imagine 5,000 people
With a little deep fryer. That's
with the little deep
electric
fryer.
that size.
I couldn't see, like, I don't want to watch people. I don't want to see the people because the queue, people waiting 1 hour and a half. To 1 hour and a half. And you know, from my heart, I say, I don't want to see these people. And nobody yell, nobody say anything. And imagine for the South American not to say anything or complain.
Wow.
You know? And we was doing churros and churros and churros and churros and churros. So what I did, I started cutting some of them and I give some samples, some freebies, you know, to the people that was waiting.
Yeah, just yeah.
And I'm asking, I went to one of these people that was waiting in the queue and I say, how long are you waiting here for? And say, about an hour and a quarter, 1 hour, something. And say, can I ask you why? Because honestly, it wasn't me. I'm not going to wait 15 minutes in there. You know, less than 1 hour, an hour and a half. I said, why are you waiting so much? Because, you know, we never tried churros like this.
Oh, wow.
We didn't try for a long, long time back in our countries. And for me was like, okay, that was my payoff.
Yeah.
That was my payout of everything. Like, and say, okay, I make my goal.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Yeah.
You know? So, that we're doing for a few years.
Yeah.
We, in one night of the Uruguayan festival, we come to do 6,000 churros.
Wow.
When I'm talking about 6,000 churros, I'm talking about probably more than 100 kilos of flour.
Jesus.
Okay? So non-stop. And we're talking about more than 10 people working.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. So, and we didn't sell more sometimes. And now we come from a little 10 or tables, because it was not even a 10.
Sure.
Tables to have a food truck.
Sure.
You know, having a proper place to sell, a coffee shop with parrillas and you know, many things like.
It was an evolution.
Evolution, yeah. So the question that you asked me for why, and it's because probably this is what I say to myself many times, and I say to even my wife and my kids. I'm gonna have a lot of time to sleep when I'm
dead.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay. So I love sleep, but I feel that I'm wasting my time sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like if I don't produce anything during the day, no matter what it is, even cutting the grass,
didn't achieve something.
do something.
Yeah.
In a day,
Yeah.
I lost 1 day of my life.
That's very honourable. You know, I think many should try and think that way, because I think that's very honourable, and I think I'm thinking that the world would be a better place if we all kind of, you know, thought a little bit more that way versus I don't know, other frames of mind, you know. But the one thing also which is super interesting, preacher.
Yeah.
Now that to me, I remember laughing at that. Not laughing at you, but laughing at that kind of hearing that, because this is very early in the piece, right? And I remember you guys being around a little bit, and Choco, Dwight, said to me, you know, he's very Christian and whatever, and he said to me, no, because the brother, because I remember saying something like, yeah, man, Javi's good people, you know. Yeah, brother, he used to be a priest, you know. And I was like, what the fuck out of here. Because it didn't seem, because I've met a lot of pastors and preachers in my time. And a lot of them, to me, come across like politicians, like,
Exactly.
hello, my friend, how are you? And it's all that bullshit, Vinny. I've met others not so much, but generally speaking, that politician kind of thing,
Okay, and here
But I didn't see that from
we're
you
gonna
at
get
all.
into a very
Harvey the Preacher. I'm going to write that down, actually.
yeah. Just
Put
write
on
it
my
down,
list.
please. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. So Harvey the
Preacher.
Preacher was something that I was never imagined.
Churros. Yes.
Okay. Do you put the taekwondo there? Remember?
I got
bullet,
taekwondo,
so I
yeah.
got taekwondo.
Not a problem.
Okay.
It's on there.
Chorizo. You put chorizos in asado?
Chorizo and parrilla.
Parrilla. There you go.
Did you bring any, by the way?
No.
Oh man, wow.
We're getting hungry. It's nearly dinner time here in
Tell me when it's 12 o'clock. I have to go, Polly.
La Cenicienta.
So
Yeah, what's the go with the preaching?
Harvey Preacher was something that I was never imagined. I never see myself as. It's not just a preacher, as a church person.
Sure.
If you know me before that time, the last person that you probably gonna think is in the church was me.
Sure.
For many reasons. Okay, they're not coming to the circumstance now. But the thing is, there was this guy come to my parents' house one day. I was just come back from work. This is probably, you don't know, and this is something else, write it down. Cleaning company. I was working as a cleaning I have a cleaning company for a few years.
Cleaner.
Not just a cleaning company.
Yeah.
It's called SWAT, Cleaning Service.
SWAT. That's so fucking you, bro. That's so you.
Oh, yeah. No, well, that's enough. We don't put that. We do the filming studio as well.
Film studio.
Yeah. See? There you go, Polly. Look. He's laughing.
Go on.
So this guy come to my parents' house, and I say, "Oh, this is bullshit. All this bullshit about church and this and that." He was talking about religion and peace and blah 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 blah. And by respect, because my mom was there, and I don't know this guy, and church is respecting, So this pastor came to my parents' house and he was talking and I said, "Oh, when he gonna finish? Blah 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 blah." Or where he was, blah 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 blah. Because I honestly doesn't. Oh, my auntie was there because this was the reason. So, and I love my auntie. She is like my big sister. Okay, mi tía Juanita. So she came from South America. It was holidays in here. I think it was the first time she came to Australia. She came many times, but and she said, "Oh, can you want to come? I want to introduce you to this." I say, "Okay, whatever, And to make the story a little bit short, the thing is, this guy was talking, like me, and I say, "Okay, if this is true what this guy say," I was blowing my nose, and say, "Make my nose bleed." Stupid things, okay? If it's true. So when I was blowing my nose, I see a dot, a drop of blood in the tissue. And so I have a lot of problem with my nose when I was young, bleeding all the time. I was walking in the street and I start bleeding, sleeping and start bleeding. And I say, that's what it is. So, but when I looked in the mirror, the blood, the drop of blood, or the blood came from outside my nose. So that was for me. What's going on here?
Made you pay attention.
Yeah, and then say, okay. I stopped where they was talking, and say, "Can I talk to you in private?" I don't know this guy. First time that I meet him. So we went to my mom's kitchen, and that was in the house, the old house, and the other house in Liverpool.
Okay.
My parents used to live 5 years before us in there.
Okay.
So the thing is, I started talking with this guy, and like never before, I was talking to somebody about my life. And I say, why I'm telling all this to this guy that I don't know, and I couldn't stop telling. It's like when you go to the psychologist.
Yeah.
And then say, why? And I was questioning myself, why? And the guy was very wise in many ways. And he said, look, I have many things to tell you now, but why don't you come to the church? And say, okay, I got to the church. From that day, we went to with my wife. From that day onward, I never stopped going to the church. Okay. So it comes from a person that doesn't want anything at all with the church. And for me, church is the biggest liar in the whole world. To come one day to be a priest. The reason why I get into why I was a priest or why I be a pastor was like what I'm trying to tell my kids is when you do something, try to do it properly.
Sure.
So I get to study. And I started studying. Never touched a book before. I didn't like to go to school.
Yeah.
So and started studying. That's another thing you can write it down in there if you want. We have a bookshop in here. Okay.
There you go.
One of the first or one of the few ones, the Spanish bookshop, Christian Spanish bookshops.
Bookshop.
Okay, in the church. So, but that was in the long track after that. But the reason why I started studying a lot is because I say I don't want anybody to come in and sell me craps.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to know
that's right.
the truth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that's why I found out many things about religions. The point is, write it down as well.
Yeah.
I'm still, if you check in the internet, I'm still the director of the Facultad Internacional de Estudios Teológicos.
Of course you are.
It's called in Fiat. It's in South America. There's a big school of theological studying, like for churches, for Christian. So the thing is, I'm the director here in all Australia. So I didn't resign, so that's why I'm still on. Even if I'm not a priest anymore, because we have a contract, until I'm not resigned, the contract is. That's why I'm still on. People try to get into that, and from that place they call Fiat. They say no until Xavier doesn't resign.
Yeah,
you have to go and talk to him.
Sure.
So.
The mafia.
Exactly. No, but it's not nothing involved. There's no money
joking,
involved or anything. You know?
I'm joking.
So that's why I'm studying a lot. And I say now, when people try to tell you, because God is this, because it's God, no. When you like it's exactly what the Bible say. If you know the truth, you find like the freedom.
Yeah.
Okay. So. That's what happened when some people they think there is too many religions in the world. Yes, it's true. But if you're Muslim, if you're Buddhist, or if you're Christian, or if you're Orthodox, but whatever you are, whatever you believe, make sure that nobody puts the finger in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay? So learn what you believe.
The truth. Yeah.
In your belief, in you whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So learn, study, so nobody can sell you fruits.
Yeah. I think that in my years of sort of doing very basic research that I've done, because I'm a bit of a sucker for history and origins and things. When I've spoken to particularly Christian people about like even origins of the Bible or certain bits of history, I've got no fucking idea.
Yeah, well, that's what happened because they know what somebody tell them.
Yeah. They know.
They just repeat what someone else tell them.
Yeah, exactly. How long were you preaching for?
13 years.
Why did you stop?
Because of the people.
Sure.
The bottom truth is that.
Yeah.
I love what I was doing. I love what I was doing. I was passionate about that.
When you say the people, you say the church.
Well,
the people around,
the
the
church is the
organization.
people. The church is the people.
Yeah.
If you once again, the Bible, what they teach you is the church is not the building.
That's
the
right.
church is the people.
That's right.
Okay, so you can have a church in the middle of a park.
That's right.
You can have a church in the middle of a toilet. So, and back to what you say before, And I say, what? Xavier, I was like a priest, but not like a religious priest.
Probably a renegade priest, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have a really good match with the priests around
Yeah.
because the way that I was. The radio, for example.
Yeah.
The radio wasn't a Christian radio. It was just a normal Latin and Spanish radio. So where we put soccer games, we have a team, we have a production team in South America. They're working just for us, you know. So the thing is, for example, the only Spanish radio part of the SBS, they have 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever. There is not a Spanish radio, it's Radio Austral. So we was next to Radio Austral, we call it Radio Vida. And because we pay to our own production team in South America, we have the commentators gone to the stadium. So it wasn't just watching TV and they just comment. No, we have the commentators gone to the stadium.
That's pretty awesome achievement.
You know, it is. Yeah. So one day I remember it was a big soccer match. And I remember exactly who was it. And somebody ring me and say, do you have any relationship with Australia? And I say, no, we're just friends, you know, like we're talking to each other. And say, what do you mean? And say, why? Why? So because they broadcasting what you broadcast in them. Like, you know, they repeat.
Wow.
They took it from the internet, the soccer match, because they couldn't get it from anywhere else. They took it from us. You know,
that's not very cool.
It's not. But once again, things like that. We have a professionals, commentators, professional voice talkers, people that really they live for that. You know, even you're gonna see like there used to be. Remember when you used to be what's it called? These private channels, TV channels. Cable channels.
Sure.
There was I think it was two. I don't remember exactly what the name was.
Here in Australia.
Here in Australia.
Okay, sure.
Well, the thing is, they contract us to do all the voices for them for the advertising all around Australia.
Okay, cool.
You know, so that's what I want to say. It was really, really, really good, and
that was all happening at the same time.
All happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and because what I'm saying to the radio is because it was supposed to belong to the church, and I explained to him and I said, look, we live in a country there is not a Latin or Spanish language, you know. So we know our big numbers. We're not one of the biggest community. Actually, we are one of the smallest community in Australia. Yeah. So the thing is, and say, we need to get into those people. And if we can't with religion, we go nowhere.
No, religion alone, correct? Yeah.
So no, but that's what religion mind.
Look, I'll tell you my brief experience with religion because I was also born into an atheist family. I think in many ways it's, you know, like you were saying before, like maybe weddings and funerals.
Yeah, that's it.
But actually with my family, I don't think it was even that. But when I got arrested, this gentleman.
You was arrested?
Yeah, I was arrested. Goodbye. When I got arrested in 2003, this preacher kept insisting on seeing me, and I think mainly just for people in the community and like La Familia fans and stuff. And his daughter was a big La Familia fan as well. Shout out to Grace. He kept insisting on coming to see me, and this was like months, and it took about a year or perhaps even more until I finally said yes, more out of boredom than anything else. And what I liked about it as well was because preachers could come and see you during the week, not on the weekends, like family members and stuff. And instantly this guy, I fell in love with the guy. He was like so warm and no bullshit, no pretension, nothing. And the cool thing about him as well, he'd actually done some shit himself in his previous life. So, you know, we had that kind of connection. Now, where I kind of...
Now we're talking about reincarnation.
No. As in the same life, just a different time span.
You see, that's another thing that I'm not agree with it. Sorry. You see, people say, before I'm born again, like, you know, you was always Rafa.
Yeah.
But that's I know what you mean. I know
Yeah.
I know the point.
Yeah,
but
you get it. But
you know what I mean? So like there is the good and bad thing inside of you.
Oh, of course,
You
duality.
decide.
Yeah,
You decide.
yeah. So anyway, so long story short, this man does everything for the community. He was a true preacher, preacher. So he was also removalist, and when he was doing a removal, he had an accident with a piece of furniture. It fell on his head, it cracked his head,
wow.
and nearly killed him. But it left him with a bit of a disability. And essentially the whole church, all the people he was helping, everybody, everything, they just turned on him. They left him with it. Not only that, I don't want to get this wrong, but they even wanted to come to his house to take like, oh, that computer belongs to the church, you can't have it anymore. And it got quite nasty. So to me, that's probably a good reference point as far as, you know, some of the hypocrisy that comes with those organizations. Not
It
that
is,
they're all
Rafa.
like that,
No. But unfortunately,
but there's a lot of that, yeah.
a few years ago, as you know me, I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
I was working in my company that you already have it in there, like, you know,
Yeah.
the truck business.
Yeah, refrigerated trucks, yeah.
So the thing is, I have a flu, normal flu, like everyone else, not a COVID. There wasn't exist at that time, okay?
Yeah, brother.
Or was it swine flu?
We were doing really
Yeah.
well.
We've had
So,
swine flu here.
I didn't need
Remind me of that
any bad soup, you know, or anything
No,
like that.
bat soup. One load of shit.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
I couldn't stop working because when you work for someone else, yes, you take day off, you know, they pay you. But when you work for yourself,
That's right.
you don't work, you don't get,
You don't get
you don't
sick
eat.
days. No, that's
Okay.
right.
So the thing is, I took some tablets, you know, cold and flu day and night
Yeah.
tablets. And keep going, under the
Yeah.
water, rain, cold, whatever. I used to work a lot on night shift.
Oh, wow.
Until one day I went to sleep. Okay, everything passed, you know. I thought I was cool, you know, I was fine.
Yeah.
And I went to sleep, and 5 minutes after I said to my wife, and I feel like a knife in my back. And I said, oh, I can't breathe. I started crying. And the pain was killing me. So we went to Liverpool Hospital. We spent the whole night sitting outside and nobody comes. You know, just wait. Until it was in the morning already, until the new shift is coming, someone came out and say, oh, just took some Panadol, is muscle pain. Okay. So I didn't have any pain at that time. So we went back home, spent the whole day, blah, blah, blah. When the time to go to sleep back again, and say to my wife, I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep. And I say, why not? Because I'm afraid if I go to sleep, the pain is going to come back. Oh, nothing happened. You're fine now, blah, blah, blah. I went to sleep. 5 minutes after, the pain came back, but worse. So I was literally in the floor, you know, crying and couldn't stop. So, and I say, let's go. For me to go to a doctor, you have to be something really bad happen.
Yeah.
So we went to Fairfield Hospital, and still crying. The pain didn't stop. Was much worse than the day before. So they give me about four times this painkiller, morphine, because the pain couldn't stop. So X-ray, blah 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 blah. 5 days in hospital. I have a big pneumonia. Infection, like a 5 cents coin.
50 cents.
50 cents coin between the lungs and the ribs. Okay, it was a big, massive infection in there. They treat me after it wasn't a cancer as well. Thanks, you know, God, there wasn't nothing, just that. But because of the flu, from the beginning, I keep going and didn't stop. Those 5 days, the only person who was next to me was my wife.
And all the people that you were helping.
I was in the church at that time. I was visiting hospitals.
Yeah.
Day and nights. I was visiting families with name it, with whatever you want to name it. Issues they have.
Yeah.
I was visiting people in jail many times. Not that I regret it, no, because I did, because I love to.
Yeah.
But that's when
It's a wake-up call.
that's when you realize and I say, what do I do in here? What do I do?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's worth it. Of course, we do it because we love what we do.
Yeah.
We do it for the cause, if you want to say that, because we love because Jesus died in the cross, but
That's
you know
right.
what? I'm not Jesus.
Yeah, of course not.
And this is what I found out.
Yeah.
You're never good enough.
Mm. And that was the moment, right, where you decided not to continue.
After that, yeah, because like I just say to you, was never good enough.
Yeah,
Was my my key to understand it and say, what do I do
I hear
here?
that, brother. Back to volunteer firefighting, because obviously you've come from Argentina and you've continued with that tradition or that role. What's been some of the sort of standout situations, maybe like the best and the worst, or you know,
It's very different in here, Rafa. It's very different.
was there any like close calls where shit got like?
Oh yeah.
did you ever
Last summer.
Do you ever think to yourself, "Oh shit, like this is getting,
Last summer.
Yeah,
Last summer was really nasty.
tell us about that.
We was protecting a house in the middle of nowhere.
Whereabouts? 'Cause you went
no,
away, right?
Sorry?
You went away.
I was
during
away
the
for
season.
I was deployed for a few days.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 days, but that was in Glen Innes.
Glen Innes.
Oh,
yeah,
Glen Innes.
Yeah.
Glen Innes.
Okay, sure.
So
I only know that name because there's a jail there somewhere.
so
Innes,
for me,
yeah.
in being part of the RFS, Rural Fire Service. So there is 2 organizations in here: Rural Fire Service and Fire Rescue.
Sure.
Fire Rescue is the one.
Metropolitan.
It's not just Metropolitan. There is salary. They have the salary. They pay.
Sure.
RFS is volunteers.
Sure.
Okay, so we do exactly the same job as except rescuing. Okay, we do some rescue, but not like them. Like
Sure.
if people is trapped inside the house,
Cars
inside the
and
cars
whatever,
or
yeah.
things like that, we don't
The
do
cat's in the tree.
We do that.
I'll know next time my cat's.
So
trapped in
yeah,
the tree. I'll give you a call.
So the thing, is, we was protecting this house, and you don't see nothing, just fire. But when I'm talking fire, it's like getting to an oven, like you know the big pizza wood oven,
Yeah.
and you see fire all around.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it was, because it was tree, and you see the trees is probably, I don't know, 30 meters up, plus the flame another 30 meters, and you see they coming on top of you.
Yeah.
Okay, and you feel so tiny.
Yeah.
It's so tiny. You feel like an insect in there.
Sure.
And you think so many things in there. Like, okay, this should be my last moment, my last time, my last day. Do I gonna see my family again? Do I see my kids again? Do I see my wife again? Do I see my parents again? Do we gonna get out of here? Many things, many things that you not even imagine. That's where I pass from your mind in that time, you know. So, and it's not just that you have to look after yourself, but you have to look after the other people around you.
Of course.
Plus the property,
The mission,
and you hear, you know, all this place was. They have the shed at the back, and they have gas cylinders in there, so they're exploding in there.
They're popping.
Oh, you know, you not even see it when they're gone. So you hear the bang, but I don't know, and you have to be careful where they're gonna, because they're going up, they have to come down.
Yeah. Plus, if they're sitting up, they pop up, right?
Yes, that's no, it's not just pop up. They're going up, but they have to.
Yeah, they have to come back down.
It's
a fucking war
it's a
zone.
bomb. It's a bomb.
Yeah.
You know. But imagine normally country or rural houses don't have only one.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, because they have to have a storage.
Of course.
So when we go into a fire, we don't know what we're gonna find.
Of course,
because
they're always
all the
different,
fire is
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So maybe you think, oh, it's just grass. But, you know, I said to you before, there are 10 kids die in a grass fire. It was just grass. But the wind changed, and they were surrounded by this fire, and they all died, burned, like it was cooked.
Fried. Yeah.
You know? So
The heat must have been unbearable, right?
You have no idea. It's like, once again, it's like getting to the wood oven, and you have nothing to do. Even if you wet yourself, you know, you have to look after the water, because you don't have to just throw in water because of, you know, you're a firefighter. You have to try to save the water because you never know what's going to happen.
And access to water as well is crazy, right? You
Well,
show
you-
up, you don't know exactly where it is, how you're going to do. Yeah,
So that's
must be
what you have
very
to
intense.
do. The good thing about the RFS in here, and probably you see this in the TV, is a really, really good organization.
Sure, yeah. Australia is
You know.
known for being quite
Actually, Australia have the best
organised.
organization as a firefighter in the whole world.
sure.
I didn't know that. I found that a few months ago.
Yeah.
Even from America and Canada, they're really good, but they come in and learning here.
Oh wow. Okay.
So imagine how high are the fires
Standards, yeah.
and and the procedures and the training here.
Wow.
Okay.
Well done, Aussies.
So definitely. You know, I take my hat out.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, I take my hat off to you, man, because that's
so-
you, bro. It's your
But
organization.
I'm nobody compared to what these people. I see people in this. The good thing about the organization in the RFS compared to what I experienced in South America. In South America, we was volunteers as well. They are volunteers as well. But after 25 years of service, they give you a pension. Okay. So, and it's a good relief for the people who serve.
Of course.
You know, even imagine if you don't die before those
Yeah,
those
of
times.
course you got to get there, yeah.
But when I enrolled to the fire brigade when I was 16, I didn't even have an idea about the pension of that. You didn't do it for that. Now many do them for that, for the pension. You know,
And just running along.
exactly. So in here, you can die with 80 years, 100 years old, and you never have a coin from the RFS. You know, and the thing
Strictly
is,
for the service.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's from your heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of serve,
Sure.
and there is people of all kind of people, all
course.
kind of people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like
I'm sure.
one of the rules in the rural fire service is everybody can do something. Okay, so no matter what you do, what's your skill or not, okay, there is disabled people helping in there. You know, then that's amazing things about the RFS. Everybody are able to do something, feel useful. You know, so there is people they maybe I don't know. My barrier is the language.
Sure.
Okay. So I couldn't imagine that I can come up to this point. I'm one step forward to be an officer in the fire brigade.
Okay.
So I'm in the RFS calling the AF firefighter. It's advanced firefighter.
Sure.
For me, I achieve that is like something that I wasn't even imagine. You know?
Explain to us the roles as you know them in the RFS.
Well, the thing is, my son now is part of the RFS, Lucas.
Lucas. Shout
But
out to
it's-
Lucas. Good man.
So the thing is, he's just doing the training.
Sure.
First part of the being a firefighter in the RFS. I'm talking about the RFS because it's totally different of the
RFS,
fire
yeah,
rescue.
sure.
Okay, fire rescue probably there is about 5,000 enrollments, but only 100 people get in.
Uh-huh.
In here, you can call, fill it up, do the online courses, a few online courses. Do the first course, they call him BF, or Bush Firefighter, or Beginner Firefighter. And then you're able to go out
Sure.
to the field. You're not able to do much, but you are able to start getting experience, you know, next to being as a supervisor by someone else.
Sure.
Okay? In this case, AF is advanced firefighter is the first role that you not need to being supervised.
Sure.
Okay.
I get you. Yeah.
So you have the BF, once again, bush firefighter or beginner firefighter. Then you have the VF, village firefighter.
Uh-huh.
That village firefighter is everything is a training here.
Yeah.
So you're not if you're a BF, you're not allowed to go in close to the buildings in fire.
Sure. On fire, yeah.
Be a village firefighter, you're allowed to go close to the buildings, but not inside the buildings.
Sure.
Okay, so you help him all around.
Sure.
To get into the side of the building, you need to be BF, so breathing apparatus or BA. That's what they call them, BA.
BA.
BA, breathing apparatus. Why I get a little bit confused is because sometimes we call them BA, or they call in they have a few different names.
Sure.
Okay, like but is those
Nicknames,
people
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is the backhoe. The backhoe is the guy who check. Is not just getting to the side the fire. Is somebody checking how much compressed air you have in your cylinder.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, that's a BA. So the BA is allowed to go inside the buildings.
Sure.
The real deal.
Right.
Okay, where the action is.
So where does you sit as an AF?
AF, I'm already done all that.
Okay, beautiful.
So for being a BA, breathing apparatus firefighter, you need to be also a first aid officer.
So you need to have your first aid.
And resuscitation as well.
Sure. Okay.
So all that is passed for me.
Yep.
I never thought that I can achieve that.
Sure.
But yes, being a BA for me was my biggest goal because it's a lot of studying, a lot of training,
courses and stuff. Yeah.
courses.
Yeah.
It's not just I want to do it.
You got to refresh, right? Every year you got to update. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So every year they take us to the training facilities, and they started, giving the training. You actually to be like a breathing apparatus operator.
Yeah.
That's why they also call him BAO.
Okay.
BAO, breathing apparatus operator. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There is a few different ones. So the thing is, every 3 months you need to, what they call blowing a cylinder. So you need to use the whole system until you finish. So you see if your system are okay. We're doing the checking every week. So we have equipment.
Sure.
Yeah. But you need to wear it.
Sure.
Even if it's not an incident, you need to wear it.
Okay. So you go in and you wear it, you go through it,
So
spend the time, and then...
They make you, believe it or not, they make you get through a chair with that cylinder at the back.
What do you mean a chair?
Like a normal chair. You know the chairs, they have the little legs?
Sure.
Okay, we have to get in through there.
Crawl under a chair.
Inside and get into they teach you how to do it, even if it's very, very small, tiny. Sure. That's another thing, confined space.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
So you need to know how to work with that. So all this training.
And you mentioned the very tough situation, which were the bushfires of 1920 summer season in Australia. What about some other highlights? But perhaps some good feel-good moments, or like people that you helped, or anything like that you can speak on.
There is many. I remember when I was young, like back in South America, we was calling to a heart attack. Okay, I've been a heart attack. I've been a birth, like women's in the house.
Firefighters.
As a firefighter, yeah. I'm talking about back in Argentina.
So the ambulance is what?
You know how it is in there.
Yeah, sure.
You can wait for 2-3 hours for an ambulance. Sure. Lucky if they come.
Back in those days.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's a lot better.
Not much better, yeah, but it's still.
Okay, sure.
So the thing is, they call us for this woman in the middle of the road to have an episode and there. And when we arrived there, for me, I was actually remember about this a few days ago. There was the ambulance guys in there. This was the driver of the ambulance. And he said, "Don't worry, just she died already, so don't waste your time." That's how they tell us. Don't worry, she gonna die. But one of the things that I was trying to do when I was in South America, I want to do a paramedic. I want to be a paramedic.
Okay.
And because my work, my study, and all that, I couldn't do it. But I have this Navica.
Not a sponsorship, scholarship.
Scholarship.
Yeah.
From the fire brigade to be a paramedic. But once again, there was a night shift and there was too much in my plate at that time. So the thing is, I started doing the resuscitation to this woman. And I was only myself. So we took her to the hospital, and on the way to the hospital, I tried to resuscitate her, and she didn't die in there. But when we arrived to the hospital, they say to us, no, she died. For me, it was a big impact. Why? Because probably was my first time that I have to do a resuscitation. Yeah. I believe I could save that woman. I feel guilty probably because I couldn't make my job. And that make a big mark in my life. Sure. Because when I come to Australia, I meet one of the biggest chief in that time. Remember there was the Easter show in the city. Okay. So
yeah, they used to do it in the
Now it's equestrian something in there in Moore Park.
Moore Park, yeah.
So there was I was talking to this guy, and he said, "Come to see me in my office." And he said, "Why don't you get into the fire brigade?" And I say, "Because I don't speak English. My English was very poor, much poorer than now." So and they say, "Oh, okay." And I say, "Look, for me, it's a big responsibility because for that woman, I understand there is not just try to help. You need to train yourself. You need to learn, and because the English wasn't good enough." And I say, "What happened if one day I gone to a fire or an accident, I couldn't say something, and I lost
There's a
life
miscommunication, miscommunication.
And communication is really important.
Of course.
And I feel responsible for that. And I say that's the reason why I'm not getting to the fire brigade. So I was waiting for many years until my English, levels gone up. Until one day I came back in touch with my friends, the fire brigade in South America, and I started, doing some research how to get involved with the RFS and all that. And that's why I get in there. Okay. So I'm in the fire brigade in here for about 5-6 years. Okay. But awesome. I once again, and I come to this point after the BA, the breathing apparatus, the one they use in the cylinder at the back with the mask, they come this point, the AF course. AF course is about 5 different subjects. Each subject is a course. So it take you 1 year, full year to do that. Okay, for me it took me 2 years because it's a lot of study, a lot of study.
You're doing it outside of work and everything.
Exactly,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing is, but the good thing is you learn first, like wildfire behavior, the movement of the fire,
sure.
What to do when you don't. And I learned so much, so much. Yeah. The other thing is we're doing this. If they send you in the middle of nowhere, how are you going to come back? So they teach you how to read maps.
Orientation?
They call
navigation?
Navigation. That's what it is. Sure. Navigation. So they teach you so many things. They teach you how to read the maps. Sure. For me, it was Chinese before. Now that I understand why this number in the map is there, why this letter is there, why all this line, what they're for.
And the topography as well.
Everything, right? Everything. So it's amazing. And it's another world. So we passed that, and I hope this year, actually, the captain said to me, this year you have to do the crew leader course. Being a crew leader is just being a crew leader. Sure. And the thing is, after that, straight away after that, you can pass be an officer. Because in here
so
is
AF, crew leader, officer.
Yeah. Sure. And then you have deputy captain and captain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But, no. For me, be
crew leader officer
is just like, wow, yes. I couldn't imagine. Once again, wasn't in my plans or in my ideas.
Well, you didn't probably aim to be AF, but you're an AF now. So who knows, bro? Onwards and upwards. Yeah. Any funny stories being a firefighter?
Well, funny story, many as well, because once again, it's like a family. Yeah. Okay. What happened? Oh,
phone a friend. His
wife. Once again, back to Argentina.
Yeah.
We used to do the Santa Claus. Okay,
sure. In Christmas.
In Christmas, of course, Christmas.
Yeah.
Polly, in Christmas?
No. I don't know. Like when you say do the Santa Claus and it's Argentina, I'm thinking a million different things. It could be code for...
We're doing it here as well.
Okay, cool.
But back in there.
Sure.
Imagine the Santa Claus with cotton beer.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
you do the best you can.
You have to do it exactly.
That's right.
And okay, we normally gone in the morning and the afternoon. It was so hot, so hot day.
Yeah.
And we're giving lollies to the kids. Okay. So, but that day was a guy who owned a big shop in South America, and there they have a lot of money, and they bring this costume from America.
Oh wow.
From North America.
Probably proper.
Yeah, and actually, I thought it was probably the real Santa, because it was really, really good. Yeah. All the costume, and they have a big belt.
Oh, okay, wow.
The bronze one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna say, oh wow, So, and imagine I was like, my costume was with cotton alls, gluing inside, and with a big. I didn't have this cushion before.
Sure. Yeah. Investment.
So the thing is, so we do it in the morning, and in the afternoon, because it was very hot, this guy doesn't want to do it, but he left the bell in there. So that was the closest thing to be more realistic as a Santa,
Yeah.
So I grabbed the bell.
Oh, no.
So we went out, and full of kids. You know how it is over there,
Sure.
especially when it's something free and lollies.
Yeah.
So ho. And the problem was the bell. They have these gnats inside, and they started coming off.
Oh.
So, and every time I have to screw it in, and ho, and I forgot to screw it in. And the bell went up and down, and there was this kid banging in the head. And I say, oh, I remember, and I feel so bad after that, so guilty.
Yeah.
Once again, I was 17 years old on that time. He grabbed the bronze part of the bell and passed it on to Santa, and have all blood all around the head.
You split the kid's head.
and yes, imagine Santa how they feel, So it wasn't really good on that time. So I give a full bag of lolly to him. Say let's go.
Yeah. Shut your mouth. Don't tell your parents.
Yeah. Thank you. Go home. So yeah.
Thank God it wasn't Australia.
Oh, definitely. I'm still I was probably your cellmate, and that's.
But I do want to say, man, full power and respect to you, man, because to be a volunteer firefighter is no joke, and in a world where full of negativity and quite a toxic society, and it's very easy to fall down the pessimism and all those traps. And to see someone that I know, because I know there's hundreds, thousands of people doing it, but rarely do you kind of know someone. In my case, that person is you. Respect, man, because that's a big thing. And I say that also as a friend, but also from the Latin American community, man, because you don't see a lot of high achievers in our community. And you don't see a lot of people doing what you do, man, because I think, and you can probably confirm this, but the majority of the RFS is more Aussies, old school, no?
Yeah. A lot of them, they are from the ex-army people.
There you go.
Many of them, they are from the army.
Rarely would you see someone from your walk of life. I mean, is there any other Latinos in the...
There are.
Sure.
Not
Good.
many, but there are.
Good to hear.
Yes. Actually, when I was deployed to Glen Innes, was a Uruguayan lady.
There's always one.
There you go. You see, there was a charrua there. So.
There's always one somewhere, man. So we got some photos to show, Paulie.
Wait. I have a question.
Okay. Is it going to be better than the last one, or?
Yeah, this is really good.
Thank you.
So,
tell me, Paulie.
You left your girlfriend behind. Well, you didn't have a choice. When did you come to Australia? Like, what happened in that story?
What do you mean?
Like,
when did your wife come to Australia? Is that what you're asking?
Wife? Like,
the thing is,
I'll translate Paulie's question.
Sorry.
When did your wife come to Australia?
Oh,
Thanks,
okay.
Paulie.
Sorry.
Mind you, I know the story, and
Paulie knows a lot. Go on.
Yes, I say to you before that I was depressed, you know.
Yeah.
Then I want to leave. I don't want to leave, so I don't want to live anymore. My father see me so bad, really, really bad, and say, "Look, you know what? I can't. I'll never forget about this." And say, all what I did was sleep, crying, not even eat, nothing, not come out, nothing,
Wow.
in my bedroom the whole day. So I collecting the $2 coin during the week to call her every Saturdays for about 20 minutes because it was $2 per minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 minutes was 10. Collecting normally I save $20 to go talk 10 minutes with her. And sometimes remember the old big public phones, the blue ones or green ones and something like that. So what I did is punch the number, and I remember that you can hear hello, hola, and they hang up.
Before it starts charging.
With no money,
Before
yeah.
it starts charging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like, oh wow, yeah, hear the voice, you know, of her. So that was back in that time. So when my father told me, so just go find a job, get your money, go back to Argentina, was like, you know, when your little dog just, you know, release him from the chain.
Sure.
So for me, it was like that. You know, like I'm free. I'm able to back to my life. So remember, I say to you also that we arrived here on the 28th of December 1990. So 2nd of December 1991, I back to South America.
Oh, wow.
By myself.
You went back, sure.
So yes, 11 months after.
Sure.
So I went back like a Coco Dundee, you know, like, you know, with a Aussie hat and all that.
Of course, Aussie-fied.
Yeah. So the thing is, she was waiting for me in the airport.
Yeah.
And I went back with no return ticket. So
I'm out.
I decided to never come back. So that's why I make a few mistakes before I left. Because what I think, and I say, I'm never going to come back. So
Burnt a few bridges.
exactly. And that I regretted after, because one thing that the biggest mistake we make is when we think, I'm never coming back, or I'm never going to do this.
Won't catch up to me.
Or, you know, so, but you never know what's going around, come back around, you know. So anyway, I went to her house. I have my parents' house. I was living in there, but I was alone, blah, 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 blah. A few months after, we started living together. A year after that, we get married. So we were married. I was back when I was 19 years old. We get married actually when we was 21 years old, because we was living together for 1 or 2 years. Actually, 1 year and a half maybe. We get married. I was working really good over there. I was working in a tire factory. It's called Infate, Fate. And she was working in a lolly factory, something like that. So we didn't have kids. We didn't pay rent and this and that. One day I said to her and said, "Do you want to know?" Because my visa is going to expire. And said, "Do you want to know what what I see in Australia? I have 15 days holidays." And say, "Yeah, why not?" So we paid the tickets. We called my mum. My mum was, so excited to see me again.
Yeah.
So and then was that? Oh, that's a mate. Yeah. But that's in here. That's Andreas.
Yeah.
Andreas Mates.
Okay.
So the thing is, we came back, and when we come here, my mom tell my wife and then say, "Oh, she started, talking behind me. If the doctor told me that if my son's gone back, I'm probably die and this and that."
Wow.
So yeah. So that was a little work of my mom.
Yeah.
She's still behind, next to us, and she have a long track with us.
But
that was probably 30 years ago.
Wow. So then you guys stayed.
Yeah. We decided to stay.
Awesome. Okay.
So and that's why we start everything together again.
Yeah.
So we have 3 kids now.
Yep.
Natalie, Michaela, and Lucas.
And you're also a granddad.
We also are she's a grandmother, not me.
Yes,
So,
Times two.
I'm his uncle. Uncle.
Okay,
Xavier.
very good. Very good, very good.
So yeah,
That's how
so
you get out of
that's
that,
answer your
abuelito.
question, Polly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
Yeah.
Paulie.
I love it.
So that's when we come back, and then from then on, we never get. Well, I'm going for holidays. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So show and tell. We've got a few images. We're gonna be showing for all of our audience on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We won't be able to see these, but we'll get Harvey to explain and talk about a little bit some of the things that we're seeing. We've got the giant mate there. That's the place here in Sydney.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my world mate.
My-
Mate World. My
Mate World.
My Mate World.
Mate World. Shout out to Mate
Andrea,
World,
yeah.
Andrea. I haven't been there myself. I've been online,
Yeah.
but I know that they've got a good range of products and everything for all of you that want to perhaps look at mate as an alternative to tea and
yerba,
coffee. Yeah, yerba is very good. It can be very healthy. I drink a lot myself. I know that you guys
Yes.
do as well, or a version of. Last time I drank mate at your house, wow.
Well,
It was
there
like
you
a
go.
punch in the mouth.
Here we go.
But anyway.
So there's different versions of mate, is there?
Yeah. Not only different brews, as in the ingredient in the actual yerba, which is the herbs that go into the mate, but
That part in there. So.
yeah. You can
Green
add
part.
you can add sugar, you can add orange peel, you can
Yep.
add all these different things, and through the different regions of the south of Latin America, particularly Uruguay, Argentina, the south of Brazil, and parts of Paraguay.
And Chile.
Very, very small
South,
parts
only
of
south
Chile.
of Chile,
very
yeah.
small parts of Chile. We drink mate and the different
Paraguay,
versions
they
of
can have a
mate.
tereré more than anything
Yeah,
else. Yeah,
but they have it there. They
Yeah.
have it. And funnily enough, they drink the mate in Syria.
actually, yes, a lot of Lebanese have the mate.
And
as well.
they're people that have traveled to Latin America, migrated to Latin America, and taken it back with them when they've gone back to their lands.
I thought it was the opposite.
No, can't be the opposite because it's indigenous to
I know
to
there
Latin
is an
America.
indigenous. Yeah. Yeah.
So yerba mate comes from that region, that
Mm.
actual plant. So it can't be from the Middle East, obviously.
Mm.
And what it is Latin America has had a lot of migration to Latin America
they do, yeah.
from all different parts of the world. But one of those migrations come from the Middle East, Syrian people. And actually, there's a story of a Syrian guy not believing, saying, no, mate is Syrian. And we're like, nah, dude, mate is from
South
Uruguay and
America, yeah.
Argentina, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, man, that's a cool pic there. Also, he loves to clown around a little bit, Harvey, from time to time.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
photo,
well,
please,
there you go.
Paulie.
That's Che Churros.
Che churros!
That's in the Cuban festival. As you
Uh-huh.
see the Cuban flag in there.
Yeah, because you guys were doing the event stuff and the markets.
Yes.
And yeah, sure. I remember
Actually-
seeing you guys one at Roundhouse, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Roundhouse.
We used to do the Roundhouse as well.
Yeah.
With LDA.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
got a photo with Nestor.
Yes,
from
yes,
LDA.
of course,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. Nestor is.
Next photo, please, Paulie.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Radio Vida.
Radio Vida.
That was, that was, wow. That was my big time in there. I
One of
was living in there.
One of your incarnations.
Yeah.
Owning a radio station.
So
here in
proud,
Sydney.
so proud.
Of course,
to,
man.
to
Of course.
achieve what, because everything you see there, every single things that you see there
From scratch.
was from scratch that
Off the back of a truck.
I was doing it. They fell off from the back of the truck. Yes, that's right.
That's cool. Awesome,
Even you
bro.
see the table,
Yeah.
everything. I didn't know how to connect many things that I was learning and
Sure,
learning.
sure.
That monitoring there that help you out with the features programs. Like
Okay,
we're
upcoming.
recording,
Yeah,
programs and
Yeah.
many things that I have to learn.
Yeah.
And actually, when we do the news programs, that's why we have two different computers.
Monitors,
And
yeah.
and on the left in here, there is another studio. That's a recording studio.
Sure,
This was a live
sure.
studio, and there was a
Yeah,
recording
sure.
studio.
Just like the mixing and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Radio Vida. Next photo.
Yes. Oh,
There
that's
he is, little Luca.
Yeah.
He looks a little young there.
very
and round-faced.
Yeah, very young.
He looks a lot sharper now, the young man.
Yeah. And I don't know what's going on with my head in there. What's
You look
going
so
on?
different there.
Yeah, that
I
looks
don't
like, I don't know what that looks like.
I don't know, like head con man or something.
Yeah. Con, yeah,
But
yeah.
the
Con head,
Bluetooth, Rafa, the Bluetooth in the
And the Bluetooth in the ear.
So yeah, that's actually one of
You
the
gotta do it.
vehicles that we used to drive, the
Sure.
Iveco.
Uh-huh.
One of my vehicles
Yeah.
in my job. So yeah.
And to all the young ladies in Sydney in particular, Luca does not look like that anymore. Lucas now looks much sharper and everything. So when we talk about Harvey's son, please, if you see him now, expect a much better looking young man than this cute 12.
Maybe, yeah, around
Yeah?
12, yeah,
There
probably
you
11, 12, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But now, actually, now that you say next few weeks, he's going to be performing with Magic Mike in here in Sydney. You know, so.
Good man. You're pimping him out, huh? Good man. Next photo, please.
That's a famous Bumblebee.
No, Optimus.
Sorry, Optimus Prime. Yeah,
Optimus,
sorry.
Yeah. So when we started doing the nightclub game and Harvey was becoming more and more involved with us and nowadays manager of Latin American events for us, for RLC, for my company, we started with Mega Oz, which I think we've got a photo of. But then he says to me one day, he goes, I'm going to go to Bali and pick up a Transformer suit. I'm like, what? Hold on. Start again. He goes, yeah, I'm going to go to Bali and get him fitted. And that was for the Bumblebee, right? Which was the first one you brought over. But you've got two of these. So this is Optimus and you've got Bumblebee as well, which we've got a photo of there as well. But
Bumblebee there?
Yeah, Bumblebee's in there too. But incredible, man, incredible. The reaction we get from the crowd and everything when we throw them in at full moon parties and stuff like that is really cool, really awesome. And it's something I very much miss doing with all of this COVID BS, is that we're not allowed to do these things anymore.
No,
you know, we can't.
Maybe one day. Maybe
no,
they
for sure.
resuscitate.
For sure. Once we get rid of this stranglehold that the big pharmaceuticals has on the world.
What happened?
Tell me.
I wish we had a video of him getting into that costume.
Yeah.
Xavier helps him and he gets angry.
Yeah, that's right. But that's a husband and wife thing.
It's complicated to put on.
Yeah, especially inside the little toilet at the watershed. What we can probably do one night is put a little time lapse camera inside the change room for the robots, and we can have a look at that. Yeah.
Yes. No,
Next
you
photo,
don't want
please.
to see that.
No, we do.
There you go. Look.
There's the boys looking sharp.
That's in Candy. That's
Hard Rock
actually,
Cafe.
yeah. You know what, Raf? I said to you one day, I think I found myself in there.
Yeah, man.
I think I found myself in there. Like
Yeah.
I do many things, and probably one of the photos in there is when I was do the organization or the promotion or you do the with Nestor with
Sure.
LDA.
Yeah.
We used to do the Noche Latina or
Yeah.
Latin night. But work with you and Paulie and the whole team, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to say that because he's here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
It's okay.
anyway, and Paulie especially, you know.
He'll turn your camera off if you don't, bro.
No.
We can do that.
So I learn a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to say thank you, and thanks Paulie, and thanks the whole team. Sunshine, Raul, Alex, everybody, single one that being part of that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Julian. Well, Julian is one of the latest.
Yeah, it came a little bit later.
You know,
yeah,
but
but even like Coco Man, Sebi D,
Coco,
Sid,
Sebi,
Mao,
you know, everybody,
all the candy
each
girls.
one of the, and you know what? I say, congratulations, Raf. You know, because get that team, putting those people together. We're talking about people from. Armenia, man.
Armenia.
Where's that?
Lo mató.
So, well, there you go. See,
Yeah, that's right.
So we have people from Colombia, Peru, Sebi,
different
Peru,
age groups.
You know,
Yeah.
So we have people from all over the place, all over the world, and work together like one. We have difference, we have issues like anyone else.
Of course.
But you know what? That's a good part because make MC Rafa, make Candy, make Watershed, make everything that you done, that you create because you was the creator of this, you know. And I love it. I learn so much every night that I go there.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
And I go back to my house exhausted.
Sure. The long nights, man. Long nights.
You know what?
On your feet a lot.
Happy.
Well, look, it is I that thanks you because I remember the process at the time.
Oh, yes.
I remember speaking to you about it, and I remember saying to myself and to Paulie, the Brains Trust is if I don't have a Harvey prior to, I can't do this because you need people to step up to these roles. And up until that time, we'd had lots of conversations about doing things, but obviously you went from being someone helping out.
Costume man.
Bringing the costumes and everything to stepping up to a general manager role. But it was seamless. But also, I think we all learned, including yourself, that you have that hospitality, that events, personality in you, character in you. And just like you put out fires with the RFS, you put out so many fires at Candy for me.
It's a
dealing
challenge.
with patrons. Dealing with patrons,
challenge.
dealing with security, dealing with management, dealing with drunk people, stopping fights, any incidents and things. And so it is I that thanks you because you did everything that was expected and more. And also I think you led the way, even from like your appearance, every weekend, setting the standards, showing people how it's done, and just handling that role, brother. And I pray to God that we can return to all of that because unfortunately, with the situation, it feels like we've been robbed of. It's much more than work, isn't it, for us? It's a big part of our persona, of who we are. Plus, for us being Latinos and everything, it's obviously a big part of our culture, our music. It's the meeting place for our community.
Fellowship.
It's fellowship. Yeah, definitely,
fellowship,
bro. Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how we go, man. But amazing times, and now at Shark Hotel, I think if and when it's going to be an awesome ride ahead of us.
Of course.
As long as the world kind of wakes up to what's happening and we get rid of this situation as soon as possible.
You know what? Sorry.
Tell me.
That's remind me something about the Bible.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure.
It's and say, God give you a promise with a condition, okay, in the Bible, and say, if you talking, I'm not agree with the tithes, okay, los diezmos.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah,
okay, but this is what the promise of the Bible say: if you are in, how can I say, if you are in a good relationship or in good with God, like in harmony with God, everything that you do, that's what the Bible says. Everything that you do is going to prosper.
Yeah, abundance. Yeah.
Okay, so I tell you this, Rafa, and this is from my heart to you. Okay, as a leader of this group, as a leader of this team.
Sure.
Is you sometimes being good with God is being good with the people that are surrounding you.
Yeah.
Okay? Somebody told me the other day, a friend, probably my best friend, it is my best friend, okay? We know each other for many years.
Yeah.
And we're talking about probably 30 years, 25 years. He told me and say, everything you do, is prosper. Everything you do, se torna bueno, like they turn in a good thing. And I say, and I remember this word, and I give it to you now. It's because you never stop helping people.
Yeah.
So we're talking about circle. You want to call karma.
Yeah.
You want to call whatever you want to call in the religion that you believe in. I'm talking about to the people.
Yeah.
Like if you help someone else, that's going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Okay? So never stop help. Yeah, because that's when you stop help, when you start getting bitterness in your heart, when you start getting,
like
envy or things like that, so like...
Not healthy.
is going to stop
Yeah.
your prosperity. And that's why you're prosper.
Yeah.
You know, and because I see Paulie, myself, when I see
Yeah.
Paulie, I see myself.
Yeah.
Okay? I see Raul, I
Yeah.
see Ruben,
Yeah.
I see Pavel.
Yeah.
You know, even if they're your
Yeah.
cousin,
La familia, yeah.
the family, you know, you're always there for them. You're always there
Yeah.
for us. So that's why I'm give you this. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, man.
And
I
I
can say the
wish,
same about you.
I wish, Rafa, you get 3, 4, 5 times more than all what you have.
Make it 10.
No, you know what? No. Wait. You know why? Because the more you have, the more we're gonna have.
Well, this is very true. I mean, look, you know, I think one of the things that we all need to understand worldwide, but particularly there's I think in Sydney, in Australia, there's a bit of, and in the Latin community, here and worldwide, that small-minded kind of thing where there's not enough for everybody, and I've got to get what I can get. While I'm more of a believer that there's enough for everybody, and also, I think if you think small and you think that you know, this is going to end anytime now, and I've got to grab every little bit that I can when I can, and you know, I don't think that's breeding. You're not breeding abundance. If you hang on to every dollar like it's your last dollar, not that you shouldn't save, but I think you're putting out the wrong message to the universe. And as far as helping, I mean, you know, that's the family group that I was brought up in. Our parents taught us to be that way, more or less that way. So, but I can say exactly the same thing about you, man. And I think the one lesson I think that we must sort of include in that equation about helping others is you got to help the right people in a toxic world.
Yes.
In a toxic world, yeah.
You say that, and this is something that I was. I want you to finish talk to say this.
Yeah.
And I'll say this in front of everybody. Like, I'm talking not to you. I'm talking to the people.
Yeah.
I see Rafa.
Yeah.
Helping people that even starving your back. That's what I see. I see it with my own eyes. Yeah. And sometimes I try to understand you. Sometimes and say, why Rafa still even helping people? They're making really bad things to you. Yeah. And I see that. And probably, you know, people no, I didn't do nothing wrong, because that's what we think. We never do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But when you're on the other side, when I'm not Rafa, I'm not someone else, but I see from outside, and I say, but when I talk to Rafa, and I say to the people once again, when I talk to Rafa and I say, why, Rafa, if this person do this to you, say, don't worry, mate, that's fine. You know, we have to keep going to do what we're doing, and don't worry about them. We have to keep going. So I see, and when I was talking before about learning from Rafa, these things that I'm learning.
Yeah. Well,
and you know what? For many, and I didn't learn this from many people in the church.
Yeah, I don't think you'll find humanity's brightest or whatever in the church, unfortunately. But look, my brother, you know, I was fortunate enough to tell my mother before she passed away. It was one of the very last days before she lost consciousness. I told her that everything that's good about me is thanks to her. You know, my mama, she you know, I think like all of us, I have a tendency to be a prick or be whatever. But you know, thanks to her and her teachings and her DNA, I think it's probably prevented me from being that person that we can all be when we sort of want to go there, you know. But to be honest, brother, I consider myself very fortunate because for whatever reason, you know, I'm surrounded by a lot of love. And thankfully a lot of respect, because I think one thing definitely is I'm a man of respect, and I think respect is very important. And when you respect someone, it's very hard to do wrong by them, you know. So
yeah, but not everybody's the same.
No,
but anyway,
I know that.
Back to your mom. I didn't have the privilege to meet her.
Yeah.
I wish I was meet you before.
Yeah.
You know, I meet your father, but
Yeah,
I didn't meet your mom.
Richard, yeah.
But the thing is, you know what? I learned this from my daughters,
Yeah.
or my daughter.
Yeah.
I have two, but from one of them,
Yeah.
the eldest one, Natalie, you know,
Yeah.
she was a big rebel, you know, when she was teenager. But now I can see the roots, you know, start getting the fruits.
Yes, brother. I'm sure.
So if your mom, and obviously she's see you now.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
She must be very proud of you.
Thank you,
because
man.
they say, okay, that seed that I put in when
That's
when
right.
Rafael was young, when I was doing this
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah.
Now I can see the fruits.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
she feels
Yeah, she
she
can.
must be feel very, very proud of
Thank you,
Rafa,
man.
know.
Thank you. God bless, brother. Muchas gracias, hermano.
Thank you. Anyway, next
Thanks,
photo,
Mama.
right, Polly? Come on.
That was very sweet. I love that.
Yeah, that was very sweet, man.
No
Thank you,
kisses,
man.
all right? You're not allowed. Oh, that was amazing Nestor.
Yeah, we had Nestor on the podcast, man.
I saw
Nestor
it, I
from
saw
Land
it.
Dance Australia, a true soldier, the definition of toughness, man, and strength. Wow, what a
That's
man.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Like,
shout out to Nestor Manuelian, and if any of you guys haven't seen his show, please check it out because it's incredible what this man is doing.
It is.
And he's hanging in there, man. He's hanging in there. Shout out to Nestor and his family and everybody around him, man.
You know, and Nestor is, and the funny thing is, once again, I meet Nestor with the churros as well.
There you go. Churros opens the door.
I was in the roundhouse, and you know, as Nestor come in and drink coffee the whole day and churros, coffee and churros, coffee and churro, coffee and churro, and we started talking. You know, we was with my wife, and then he invited me to dance, and I say, Nestor, you know what? I have too less food.
Okay, which brings me back to my list.
Oh, we forgot about that as well.
Dance
Yes,
instructor.
that's right.
Because
We're
you're a
doing
dance instructor.
bachata instructor. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We're doing a few classes. We was teaching in St. John's Bowling Club and
DJ?
DJ as well.
'Cause you've been
Yeah,
DJing, yeah.
of course.
Audio and light production.
Yeah, and, audio. I was doing a lot of audio in the radio. Was editing.
Yeah, there you go.
So the thing is, Nestor, I meet Nestor in there with the coffee and the churros, and he invited us. I never forgot about the first day that I went to the LDA studios.
Latin Dance Australia.
Yeah. So the thing is, in Broadway in Sydney, Nestor invited me, and I said, Nestor, no. It was like going back to the church again.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is not for me. This is not for me. I love to see you dance. I was in love to see these people dance because they are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I say, I wish one day I can dance just a little bit, at least follow, you know, the rhythm. And you say, you know what I was doing when probably he said, you know, what I was doing before I was doing dancing, and say, no, I was a bricklayer.
Yeah, it was a bricky. Yeah, you told us on the show.
So exactly. So that's the thing is, and then say, oh really? Yeah. Come to our class, you know, have a look, you know.
Yeah.
So we went with my wife to the class, and this for me was a shock because like in the level of Nestor, you know, Manuelian, he's a very humble guy.
He is.
And we're talking about the many times a world champion of salsa and bachata, recognized by many people in the whole world.
Yeah.
He stopped the class. He was doing the class when he saw me get into the room. We was a little bit late, probably 5 minutes late. But because we didn't gonna do the class or anything, we just going to have a look. He saw me getting with my wife in the class, and he stopped the class and say, I would like to introduce you. And I say, what's going on? You know, so he was just sitting in the churros, you know, stall.
Yeah.
And I say, wow, that captivated me, you know, that day.
Very good man. Yeah.
And I see him once again. I see a true man like you, a real man. It's not about religion. It's not about ideology, or it's not. It's about the personality or the heart of the person, the nature, the root of the person. And once again, him, his brother Jaime, his father and the mother meet the family, and it's like you. You know, I meet real people.
Real, yeah.
Okay, when I'm say real, it's not about good things. It's about the whole bunch of things, good and bad, real.
Yeah.
You're not fake. You're not pretending. You know, be somebody that you're not.
Yeah.
So that's Mr. Manuel.
Yeah. Actions. Yeah. No. Shout out to him and full power to him. And hopefully, again, when everything opens back up, you guys can continue doing some of the things that you were looking at doing before, and all of us collaborating.
Oh, that's
there. He is.
That's what we was talking before about the BA.
BA, sure.
Yeah, that's a breathing apparatus
Harvey
operator.
Dressed up in his RFS uniform, correct?
Yeah, that was actually in a fire of a big shed. There was a cars involved and everything inside a shed. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fluoro,
so we was waiting.
Yeah.
We was waiting because there is a group of people, so you rotate the people. Sure. You're not allowed to be there for a long time.
Of course.
Yeah.
What's the limit?
Whatever is the limit. Normally it's about 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, the maximum of a cylinder.
In the tank, in the oxygen tank. Yeah.
It's not an oxygen. It's
what is it?
Compressed air.
Okay, sure. It's a mix.
No. It's a compressed air. It's different of oxygen. So oxygen is what the ambulance use.
Sure.
Okay. When you, for example, if we inhalate, smoke, we need oxygen.
Sure.
But what they put on that cylinder is like a big compressor.
Yeah.
Like a normal compressor in the workshops.
Yeah.
Okay, so they compress the air and they put it in that cylinder.
Yeah.
So the air that we breathe in here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So one's pure oxygen and this one is a mixture, so it's breathable.
Yeah. So remember, we breathe only 25% of oxygen.
That's right. The rest is carbon dioxide. Yeah. And whatever is in
and
the
mixing of
Awesome, man.
Gases.
My man.
There you go.
This one goes a long way back.
There you go. We're back to South America again.
Yeah.
So that
Plus, this is dictadura times too, right?
No.
No.
It's
not
after.
Anymore.
No, what's after? What's democracy or then?
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's my best friend in South America, Nico.
Sure.
He's the third one in charge in the whole brigade now.
Uh-huh.
And actually, he's in rescue in alturas like.
Altitude,
but rescue. He's a great man. Actually, once again, another real person. He's teaching police. He's teaching
awesome.
Many places. Actually, the year before, 2020, I was supposed to go with him and give a big course in the north of Argentina.
Sure.
He gone to Mexico. He gone to different places.
Awesome,
he's a top guy. He's a top guy.
And holding the flag.
Yeah. Actually, once again, that was look how young I was.
Yeah. Like 25 kilos.
Well, I was wet when I was wet.
Yeah. Reminds me of
There you go.
There's Bumblebee.
There is Bumblebee.
Yeah, the watershed.
The story of the Bumblebee is a little bit like the story of the churros.
Sure.
I went to holidays with my wife in Bali, and I see the guy in the shopping center.
Yeah.
And I went and talked to him, and I said, "I want
how
this."
much? Yeah.
I said to my wife, "I want one of those." Here we go again.
Yeah, another one. Yeah.
So, and I talked to the guy, and the guy didn't understand a word that I say.
Sure.
And I say, he said to me, "I'm no English. Inside the suit."
Yeah.
And I say, "Don't worry." So I went to the shopping center. People who pass, do you speak English?
Sure.
No.
Translator.
Do you speak English? Yeah, come in. Okay, was a lady just passing there, and said, "Can you translate to him?" Well, we're still talking in there. So give me the number. That was the same day that we supposed to leave from Bali, or the day before, I think there was. And so this group of guys that I never met before came to the hotel that I was there. We was talking business, blah, 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 blah. They're talking in the language. I didn't look like a mafia, honest. Yeah. We was dealing drugs in there.
Yeah.
So, but we was dealing Bumblebee in there. Yeah. So they went after.
But you had to get fitted. You had to go back to Bali.
Exactly.
To get fitted.
Exactly. Because we deal that we're going to buy it. And then we came back to Australia. A month after, they say, okay, it's ready. So I went back to Bali for just a weekend to pick him up and come back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they're going to feed me.
Sure.
I didn't know if they was real or they're going to rob me and rape me in there.
You wish.
I was suspecting. I was waiting, but nothing happened.
Oh, well.
So the thing is, there was, and actually that's another thing in Bali. beautiful people.
Yeah,
Beautiful people.
Southeast
beautiful
Asian people are beautiful. Man.
So we doing some adjustment in there because as you can see, they have light. They didn't come with light there.
Yeah.
You see the ice is in there, the ice.
Yeah.
We make all that.
As you do.
We
as Harvey
used to
does.
do with the LED robot.
Yeah, that's
so
right. You
yeah,
learned a
so
bit
we,
with Mega Oz. Yeah.
we make a lot of few things.
We've got photos of Mega Oz. Let's go through the next one, see if we can land.
Nah, but I want to hear how you got it in the country. Like, was it?
a luggage.
I got
Like the churros machine,
It's
like the
bubbly.
churros.
So what?
Big, huge. Like everybody
Yeah.
was concerned about what I get in there in the airport and say, what do you have in there? They think they probably have a human being in there, you know. So, and then say, no, it's a costume. I show you photos and all that.
Yeah.
And so, oh, can I have a look? Can I have a look? And
Yeah.
they say, yeah, go up and up. And they say, no problem at all. So then we went the second one for the Optimus.
Yeah.
So same procedures, no issues at all.
Going back to Argentina here.
Look handsome.
Incredible.
Come on,
Yeah. What happened?
Well, I don't know. The train rolled over me. I don't know. So you see the guy in the right corner. That was the guy. He was my neighbor, and I see him running.
Ah, okay. So he's the responsible one, yeah? Okay,
exactly.
cool.
So yeah,
awesome.
so
Boys are looking good.
that was part of it. The guy in the blue jumper in there is now the second one in charge of the fire brigade. That was one of my mates as well.
Awesome.
We keep in touch. We chatting every week. So yeah.
Memory lane.
Yeah.
Gracias, Paulie.
Next one.
There he is.
And look who's there.
Look who's there, Paulie.
That's a
Always-
Paulie.
Always finds his way to sneak himself onto the
There
show
you go.
and tell onto the screen somehow.
It's
But
Figuretti.
So so Paulie was Super Mario or a version of.
Yeah, well,
He's got the Super Mario
something
hat
Nah,
on.
like
it was
that, yeah.
before he became a plumber. He was working at a club.
Yeah, that's right. So this is at the front of the old Margaritaville,
That's
which is now
there,
the port
that's right,
in Darling
that's
Harbour,
right.
which we rammed from wall to wall. That place was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sid.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just
yeah,
going to
shout out
say.
Sid,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's Meg Oz, which is the first incarnation of Harvey's robot costume
Correct.
career, which I'm going to put it on my list.
That was one of the first. That was one of the first. That wasn't the first. I think that's one of the first. Yeah, because the helmet is not the original one. There he is. Look at him. That's the first Mega Oz.
I got a little bit happy with the gun there, as you can see.
And I remember even what I'm saying to you because I'm talking to you in there.
Yeah, of course.
And I say,
yeah.
don't go too much because the
gas runs out.
It's gonna run out of
The
gas.
gas runs out. I'm like, yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So he get a bit excited in there.
All I'm saying is, you got this, buddy.
Yeah. Well done, son. It's very paternal.
Yeah, but that is costing a lot of money.
That's cool. Man.
But yeah, that
What else
was
we got
actually that's still a Mega bill. So great time in there. Great time in
no
there.
doubt, man. Yeah.
You know, but that's the first costume of
Mega Oz.
Mega Oz. Yeah, that was the first costume. And that's another thing. I bought it overseas. Get
Brought
the idea.
modified it.
And modify and make our own in here.
Yeah,
because
that's
I
right.
was spending a lot of time in there doing the robots, LED robots.
Yeah.
There is. He wants to be there. He wants to be there again.
No,
Me
I'm
neither.
noticing the helmet. It's different.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Actually, now we holding out 3 different kind of costumes.
Yeah.
So that was the first one. Where Paul is the second one, and there is a third one now.
Uh-huh. There you go.
That's
and then making churros, no?
That's
Yeah.
that's dulce de leche. That's caramel in there, and that's where that's after being in tents and in tables.
So this is inside the truck.
Food truck. Yeah.
Ah, okay, beautiful.
Food trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Making from scratch and a lot of job thanks to my family as well.
I'm getting hungry. It must be hungry o'clock. That's
Thanks
why.
to my family, my kids used to sleep under the table when we was working in there.
Yeah,
So we
I can
wake them up
imagine.
early in the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, saying, "No, I don't want to go."
Yeah.
But that was
That's right.
our way of living as well, you know.
Of course,
So
entrepreneurial parents, you gotta roll with it.
there you go.
Good times.
Well, that's
And
as
this
well.
is so I've got DJ down on my list.
Yeah, do you have it already?
Yeah, I have DJ there. So this is La Cita.
La Cita.
I already know this level 2.
And that's probably be one of my birthdays as well. Could be.
I remember you came and played at that time for your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
down
right.
at La Cita.
So great time as well in there. Great,
man.
great time in there.
Of course, that place was a bookmark for a lot of people, man. Like they remember La Cita as a reference point.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I believe La Cita was like La Campana at that time.
Ah, no doubt, no doubt.
You know?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. It was, I mean, look, man, it was the Latin kind of joint for a very long time, and I was happy to be involved there for some time as well until the rug got pulled under us.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool, man. Good times.
But I was very lucky to play in the La Cita
Yeah,
because
of course.
You know it's something
You
that
did
you
it.
can tell.
You
Yes,
did it. Yeah,
exactly.
That's right. You did it. Yeah.
You know, so
There's
thank you.
there's a couple of photos I want to see. Okay.
That was that's
Looking very sharp.
before last big fire last summer.
Yeah.
This photo was taken with my son. This was a recognition from Liverpool Council to the fire brigade around the areas.
Sure.
Because I don't know if you remember, there was a big fire in Holworthy.
Yeah.
And they're going up to Engadine and all.
Yeah.
There was for about 2 weeks,
Wow.
and a lot of hectares was burned. And that time I was the second truck. I was in the second truck to this big fire because it's our jurisdiction. So so the council in there, they tried to make a day for all of us, for SES as
Yeah.
well, for the ambulance, police, and all that. All the
Good,
people wasn't
man.
getting
Good,
involved.
good.
Really good, Like
We should
really nice.
have parades and stuff. More recognition and
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any more.
yeah.
We can't have it anymore now
Yeah.
until who knows when.
Yeah. Don't go there.
There you
Opa!
go.
Who's this beautiful girl?
Yeah, there you go. Actually, that's another story. You want to hear a funny story? Here you go. My mom used to cut me the hair. Okay,
I
the
can
hair,
tell. Yeah. That's the traditional bowl cut in Latin. I had the
cortetaza.
same haircut. Yeah,
Cortetaza.
cortetaza. Yeah. It looks like the Beatles.
Exactly, Carlito Alá. So we
Carlito
used
Alá.
to. But my mom used to cut me with the scissors, and there was like a un peine, el brush. No.
They had a.
They have the the
blade.
risers,
Yeah,
the blade in there.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Because you
The sound. Yeah.
and
The sound. Yeah, it
you
pulls
go
a
like
bit,
that.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God! That hurts
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
So one day, my mom, she was very moving all the time, and my mom was cutting me the hair, and I say, don't move, they're gonna cut yourself, but don't move. And then my mom turned around, and I moved, and she cut my ear.
Oh.
So I never forgot that.
Shit. Okay.
So she cut my ear in here on this part. I remember this part in
Chop
here.
a reed.
So she chopped a little bit of my ear in there. So and I was bleeding, and also, you know what? They get punish me because and say, I say to you, don't move.
Of course, it's your fault. Yeah.
It's my fault. Always. They're gonna be my fault.
yeah.
So that was me. There you go.
That's classic photo.
That's
man.
probably 1 year old. Actually, yes, it
that's
is 1 year
beautiful,
old.
man. That's an awesome photo, man.
That was
It's like a little cartoon character or something.
Yeah, so they teach me how to say crazy. So
Ah,
that's what
is
I
that
was
what
doing.
it is?
That's what it is. That's what I
Okay.
was doing.
Must
yeah.
have had some lunatics around you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
right.
to Silvia Cerbelli for providing all those awesome photos, including the couple of kid ones, which were a last minute little inclusion, which is awesome. Now, the one thing I want to do real quickly before we wrap up, because I know that there's more of these. So
Is it?
Yeah. So I've got the Taekwondo champion, picking tomato picker, chip pallet factory worker, preacher, Christian preacher, churro maker with the churro food trucks and market stalls, chorizo and parrilla as well, so barbecue, Latin American barbecue.
Coffee shop, yeah.
Yeah, coffee shop, cleaning company, film studio, bookshop owner, Fiat director. Which is
Fiat.
Fiat
Yeah.
director, which
Facultad Internacional de Estudios Teológicos.
Fiat, sure. So that's obviously related to theology. Dance instructor, DJ, audio and light production, and obviously all your work with the robots and the costumes, which is quite a modern thing. What else have we missed, brother?
Do we remember anything else?
Oh man, I didn't even put the trucks
the
on
main-
here.
the main
Of
thing,
course,
that's
the
the
bread and
part.
butter. Yeah.
And being
Bread
a
and butter.
father.
bread and butter.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more in terms of, say, career.
Gigolo.
Gigolo.
Yeah, put it in that. No, is it not?
No, it doesn't
No,
count.
it doesn't count.
Is he missing anything?
But yeah, no. Look, Rafa. Once again, I believe some people say, "Oh, but you do many things. You do many things." 15. You know what? We only have one life.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
We only have one life.
100%.
And I'm the kind of person you like, or do you think that you like to do it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Big time. Yeah.
So look at you now doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And
you got to roll with the punches.
And I see you very happy doing that.
Oh man, definitely. Yeah, this is awesome. And what a pleasure it is to be able to open up the studios, turn on the cameras, and have these conversations, bro. Not only for ourselves, but for everybody out there. I think it's an awesome medium, and hopefully we can continue to spread some of these better messages and open
Definitely.
up. Turn the lights on and shine some light on all these interesting stories, man. But Harvey, thank you so much for joining me today, man.
Thank you.
Joining us. It was a real pleasure. It's another name I can tick off the list of people that we wanted to bring on, man. So thank you. Muchas gracias, mi hermano.
Rafa say to me, when are you going to do the podcast? And I say, Paulie called me, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Ask me how many. And I say to you,
yeah,
who cares what I do or not?
Well, I do, man.
And when you say to me and say, look, you know what? Yes. And the reason why I come here is not. I don't like people know me. I don't. I'm very like that.
Not a show off.
I don't like. I like. I'm very. I can tell probably very happy when we have to be happy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I believe my life is my life.
Yeah.
And many people thinks like that probably. So
we're all different. Yeah. Some people are public. Some people are not so public. Some people are very private.
I hear somebody say to Diego Maradona the other day, obviously
Rest
much
in
before he passed away, and say, Diego, do you see yourself not being popular?
Mm-hmm.
And he thinking and say, no, I used to be, and I thought about that, and I say, I'm not used to be popular. Even if I was surrounded with so many people, many times, many times.
Yeah.
Another thing, so you can put in there, I was MC for many years as well.
Okay.
Oh, and this is part of, and first time when I come to Australia, I meet with a few people in the church, in Ashcroft Church. I was a singer. And we were singing cumbias.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So, and I was doing the widow. So
Huh?
so because you sing, but you have to do something with your hands. So,
Of course, that's right.
So and I was
17.
Yeah. So but it doesn't last long.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I think it was probably 2-3 performances. That's it.
Oh,
Nobody wants to rehearse.
good enough to put on the list, man.
It was something. Once again, experience, laughing, and the good thing about the La Isla de la Fantasía. That's how I call Australia.
Yeah.
The Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
You can be whoever you want.
Yeah, you can get away with some of those
There
things.
you go.
Yeah. But Harvey, thank you, man. Again, thank you so much for joining us, my brother.
you, Rafa.
Real pleasure to have you, and Sylvia as well. Always got your back. Thank you, Paulie, as well. Our first podcast show for 2021. How'd you go?
There you go.
How'd you go, big man?
Yeah, I feel we did 110%, and our team won.
Yeah, good on you, champ.
Why are you talking to them?
He's doing like a sports, when they, boys did it right. Yeah, full credit to the team. Yeah.
Did 110%. Yeah. To America.
Yeah, there you go. And also thank you to our foundation sponsors again, having our back through 2021 Crash Claim, meeting new friends by accident. Shout out to Nick Karajanis and the team. They're actually on a current affair the other day, man. So in a positive way, which is a good change for people that I know. Good on you, man. And also to Q Corp Construction. Thank you so much for having our back. Again, thank you, Harvey. Thank you to everybody at home for tuning in. Please share and comment and subscribe to our channel, man. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Ciao. Amén.
¿All good, Poli? Oh, eso también hicimos un show de los Midachi. ¿Vos conocés los Midachi?
Los Midachi.
Humorista, actuábamos, hacíamos. Eso estuvo bueno.
Really?
Éramos 3 o 4.
You tell me.
Expansion podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're very happy to be back.
Wait.
Deixa-me agarrar a bit.
Deus, já está na merda.
Where's my... What the...
When you clap,
Where's my clap?
done.
Okay, are you happy with that?
Yes. Are you happy with that? That's the question, Paulie. It's all about you.
Expansion